You know, Sia did that to me.
What do you mean snapping point?
Okay, so I made really good pasta sauce the other day.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Shit, I love that."
And she snapped and pointed up.
Yeah, shit, work.
That's dope.
I said, "Thank you."
What type? So you just made the sauce. You didn't even make pasta.
Yeah, I really was convinced you were gonna ask me what kind of Down syndrome she had. For some reason, I don't know. That's what I thought you were gonna ask. So I made vodka sauce though, for real.
Yo, hold on. That question. That's
what I thought you were gonna.
That was the most out of left field fucking question that you could have. Why did you think I was gonna ask you that?
I don't know. I felt like that's just what you wanted to know. I don't know. I saw it in the eyes.
Okay, well now that you brought that up, now I do want to know.
Oh, she's regular. There's no difference. Everybody that has Down syndrome has Down syndrome. There's no type.
Okay, so that's why I'm surprised. Really? So the fact that you thought I would ask that question just thinks that you think I'm dumb, because I knew that there was no type of Down syndrome. That's why when you said that, I'm like, hold on. What do you mean type? There's types. I thought you were about to tell me, but then you said there isn't, and I'm like, yo, you thought I thought they were different.
Well, I didn't think you were woke in the Down syndrome sector. I'm glad you are. Welcome to the community. We welcome you.
Just being knowledgeable about, fellow human beings. That's it.
About chromosomal disorders. Turn up. Turn up. That's my people.
Chromosomal disorders.
That's what Down syndrome is.
No, for sure.
Anyway,
yeah.
That's not what we're talking about today, but hey,
shout out to the Down syndrome homies.
I love it. Homies with extra chromies. That's what
homies with extra chromies. Can I ask you something though? There this might not be the most acceptable question, but what's up with the grilled cheese being associated? Have you ever heard of that?
Well, really. I have, but that was just the comedian. He brought it up. That is his cousin or brother.
So that's really the origin. Yeah, Shane Gillis. That's the origin of it. There is no.
Yes, it is. There is no. Well, my sister's too young probably to make her own food, so I wouldn't really know if the Down syndrome community. I'll survey them if you want. I can do that. I'm seeing a bunch of homies with extra chromies on Sunday because I gotta.
There's a walker.
Yeah, there's a run.
Run?
Me and my family.
How much
5K every year?
What's a 5K in miles?
3.1. Yeah, so that's fucking weak shit. Let me tell you. So if you're like
weak,
yeah, 3 miles. That's it, dude. You know what a marathon is?
24. Oh, 26.2. Yeah. No, marathons are insane, but 5K 3. I can't.
3.1, brother.
I cannot run that. Yes, you can. I cannot run that.
I would bet my bottom fucking dollar that you can.
I cannot run that. You're talking about running the entire time. The entire
time. The entire time. No. It's only 3 miles. 3.1.
Only 3 miles.
Bro, it's only 3 miles.
Look. Do you see?
You work out, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, to be honest with you, my cardio is not. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not anywhere where I would be proud of or that's something that I'm good at.
not telling you to run 3.1 in fucking 4 minutes. No one's telling you to do that. No one's telling you to run a 4-minute mile.
What's the average time?
I would say 45 minutes is an average time for
3.1 miles.
I would say.
That's
so fair. That 45 minutes is fair. That's a good. And I would say even if you do 50 minutes or whatever, an hour, I would still say it's a good time.
Brother, I weigh
do what you want.
$2.40. What are you talking about?
Bro, I'm not saying I weigh 5 feathers.
The other day, listen, maybe I just was wearing stupid shoes, but the other day, just for shits and giggies, I went out and I grabbed my shoes and I went to go on a run. Mm-hmm. I did 1.3 miles, I think.
That's good.
Yeah. How come when I got back, I had tendonitis? My whole calf blown up. Why did it feel like literally I could not walk the next 2 days?
So me and my sister,
I don't run. I don't run. You guys train that's why you guys be talking about on this running bullshit. I'm like,
no,
it's not 3 point something miles. I'm telling you, that's not nothing. That's not weak.
To me, it's nothing. But let me tell you what fucking running is. I'll talk to you. No. I'll tell you about it. Hold on.
You rolled up this sleeve.
Hold on. No.
You went David Goggins. Stay hard.
Listen. Okay, chill.
Go ahead.
No. So running is the opposite of drugs. When you're doing it, it fucking sucks.
Of course.
But the come down is fire.
That's
the drugs exercise, is during it. It's
release
great,
of endorphins.
And then after the come down's terrible. But running it's a drug that's fucking backwards, but it's still great. I have never. Yeah. No, go.
No, I want to ask you a serious question, and don't bullshit me on this.
Yeah. No,
have you actually experienced what they call a runner's high?
Yes, I feel fucking amazing after.
No, but you just said after. See, people say that they experience that shit while they're doing it.
Oh, is that what it is? Nah. Well,
I'm pretty sure it's while they're doing it.
Afterwards, sometimes I'm like, holy shit, fucking life.
Like, okay, can I ask you another question? What's the longest duration you've ever ran?
13.1.
Half math?
13.2. Yeah,
half marathon.
That's
very impressive.
That's
very impressive.
Thank you. It was great. I enjoyed every. Well, I didn't enjoy every second, but it was the coolest fucking experience ever. And like genuinely, I feel like running is a sport that you wouldn't think like people are like, let's fucking go. But like when you're running a half marathon or a marathon or honestly any race, the crowd that you're running with will always be like, let's fucking go. Like keep going. You can keep pushing. Like this is great. Like I'm so proud of you. Whether you're walking, whether you're slow running, whether you think you're sprinting, like everybody genuinely around you is always like, it's hype. Like everyone's so proud of you always.
That's crazy.
That's what's also awesome about it is like you're running and it sucks, but like you hit that like middle time. Sorry, I'm like
you're good. You're good.
You're hitting that like middle time where like you're like, this shit sucks. I fucking hate it. Like, ugh. And someone next to you would be like, dude, keep your chin up. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. You're doing awesome. And it could be a random fucking stranger. Or like an 80-year-old passes you and you're like, fuck, I gotta get my shit together. Let me get it going. So like either way, you're hype about it. Because you're like, this 80-year-old can do it. Fuck, I can do it.
That's fucking sick.
It's awesome. It's so cool.
So what was like the most challenging part, let me ask you, about running that half marathon?
The waking up at like 4 fucking a.m. is terrible. Like you having to start your marathon at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. That's the worst part. Because you gotta prep the day before it. I'm going to bed at 7 p.m. I'm getting my ass up at 3 to get ready by 4 to get out there by 5. That's the worst part. And you know, a lot of white people do it, and I'm questioning a lot of white people for sure. Because it's like, why do we love it? Why do white people love it so much? I don't get it. It's only white people, really. Like,
what are you? Okay, wait.
But you know, like the turkey trotters. Hold up. Let me get back to the beginning.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know the turkey trotters?
Right
turkey
no,
trotters.
I don't know anything you're talking about.
Well, turkey trotters.
First of all,
what are you saying is only
white? Wait, what are you saying is only white people? Like early morning runners?
Early morning runners.
Okay, and then what the fuck's a turkey trotter?
So a turkey trotter is that you wake up at 5 a.m. on fucking Thanksgiving, the day of Thanksgiving, and you run a 5K. That's what a turkey trotter is, and it's mainly white people. And maybe it's just my area, and I don't know a lot, but it's a lot of us whites. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe cut it out because that might seem racist. I don't know.
That's not racist.
But it's a lot of white people.
That's and you not can't racist. It's an observation.
Like, it is. It really is. Like maybe I'm just in a really white fucking community. I don't know. But like,
well, around here is definitely pretty fucking white.
Maybe. Yeah. But like, it's a lot of white people are weird, bro. Like, I don't know. Us white people, we're fucking weird. And I've turned into a turkey trot family, unfortunately.
Most of the time, like, if I think that's not true, actually. The Rock is not white, and he does some pretty wild shit with the gym early in the morning.
Well, yeah, but that's also like a fitness fucking bro. He started as like a boxer, didn't he?
No, wrestler. WWE
wrestler. Sorry, whatever.
Well, in like high school, actually, I guess like no, actually, I'm wrong. Football.
Oh. Okay.
He played college football and wanted to go to the NFL. He's a
jack of all fucking trades, isn't he?
Well, his life story is actually crazy. So he basically played football in college in Miami, the Hurricanes or whatever, and then like got injured or something, couldn't exactly make it to the NFL. So then he played in the Canadian League, I think, for a little bit, brief period of time. And then he couldn't basically turn pro like NFL. So then he went to, maybe he got a minor contract. I can't remember. Point is that didn't work out for him. So then he ended up following in his father's footsteps and becoming a wrestler.
Damn.
And the only reason I know that is because I think I watched a podcast where he was talking about it, because I think he was on a tour promoting that show that was on, like, do you remember his like Young Rock or some shit?
Oh, like his
it was like a sitcom based on his early life.
Oh, okay.
It's super. I don't even know. I don't even know if we had a producer. I'd be like, look that up. Yeah. I don't even know if that's still on anymore.
Hey, someone in the studio. Thank you.
No. Okay. Crickets.
Fucking awesome. Wait, good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah.
And now he sings to his kids about the songs he is in a Disney. Fucking
he is,
movie
yeah, and roided
hey,
up
that's
and
a great
not
movie,
admitting
though.
it. What?
What? He don't admit it?
Yeah, he's definitely roided up, and he you can't say that.
Roided up.
Yeah,
Sure. Hey, that's none of my business.
So
Good for
turkey
him.
trotters, mostly white people. That's crazy.
Yeah, us whites. I don't know. We're sadistic like that, I think.
I definitely. What's the most sadistic thing I probably do?
You do. I know your ass does some sadistic fucking shit.
What does that mean?
I fucking know. Because you're definitely the type of guy that's like, give me 400 on the bar, bro. Let me fucking get it.
No, I've never 400 on nothing.
I believe it. Dude, I did about, so the bar apparently is 45, right?
Yeah.
I only put 2.5 on that shit. I did 2.5 on both sides. That shit was heavy, bro.
What do you mean 2.5?
2.5
of what?
Pounds.
Yeah.
The weights.
Oh, I thought. Sorry, I'm not even trying to be a dick here. I thought you said 25.
Oh, no.
And I thought you were saying 2.5 to be like funny because I said 240 earlier or some shit.
No.
Whatever.
No.
So yeah. Anyways, I thought it was a callback. Never mind.
2.5 pounds on both sides.
For what exercise though? This is all relative.
I was only lifting.
What does that mean? Only lifting.
When you're lying down and the bar is over you and you like just lift up. So
Can you do me a favor?
You want me to show you right now?
Yeah, because you're not making sense right now. You said only lifting. There's like so many exercises for your arms. Was it this? Was the bar here? You're standing.
I'm in the laid position.
So you're bench pressing.
Yes,
it's a bench press.
Well, sorry, I'm not a gym rat, but yes.
It's not a gym rat. It's just like I thought, because when you went like this originally, I thought you meant military press, like shoulder pressing.
I'm sorry. Do I look the military? No, I'm a dainty little girl. Thank you. I'm petite.
Okay. Yeah. So 2.5 on the bench press. Yeah. That's not why is that something to be like,
I believe that people do way more than 2.5 on a bench press.
Yeah, but it's all relative.
Well, yeah, sure.
If you were to do that, how often do you bench press?
Never.
How often do you do push-ups?
The word is never. I can't do actually, you want to I'll show you later. But so I went to a Yankees game the other day.
Okay.
And I did 5 push-ups on the train. Clock that shit. I did 5 push-ups on the train. Thank you very much.
So you put your hands on the dirty ass floor.
And I love that that's what everyone points out. Not the fact that I could do 5 fucking push-ups, but the fact that I put my hands on a dirty ass floor.
Did your tell me you had hand sanitizer on standby?
I went around 5 fucking people.
Okay, good.
Me hand sanitizer,
yeah, you need bleach.
Shout out to my
that
friends;
point.
they're amazing.
There are cooties for sure.
There
on that
are,
and
you know what? The thing about me is, I know no one asked me to do that. I know I brought that up myself.
Okay, so when you say 5 push-ups, you need to clarify. Is it 5 of like
No. 5
assisted?
Fucking army push-ups, brother. Army fucking push-ups, bro.
Assisted or not?
No.
Are your knees touching the floor?
My knees are not touching the floor.
How far did you go down? Like past 90 degrees?
Down, and then I stopped going down.
So that's already. I'll tell you, that's already super impressive.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
And the bench press thing, it's all relative. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I don't think.
I think I have the highest number of push-ups on New York public transport. Let's talk about it.
That's definitely not true.
That's 100% true. I did 5.
It's definitely not true.
Who else?
Have you ever seen the guys that you've never? So that means you've never gotten on the train.
At fucking
in like Harlem or something.
No, I have.
Really?
You're right,
you've never seen Showtime. You've never seen those dudes jacked to the gills. Fucking black dude takes off the shirt from the belly button to his neck, jacked, and he starts doing gymnastics on the fucking bars in the train. You've never seen those street performers?
He's not doing.
No, he is. You've never seen him literally grab the thing and do spin, and then he goes on the floor, push up, does a flip, lands.
Could you not let me have it? Could you not let me have it?
All right, you can have it. I mean, I just wanted to.
Damn.
I'm just being informational about some fascinating New York stuff.
Thank you.
Showtime.
Fucking New Yorker.
Showtime.
Oh, that was fun. I liked that.
No.
Yes. Thank you, studio audience. Thank you. Love them. They're so awesome. There's like a huge studio audience.
Yeah, there is. You just can't see it. It's
about 50 people back here. Guys, make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Autograph.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You gotta quiet them down. You know, we're trying to record
when,
here.
like, Oprah does like the fucking applause. You should have one of those for when someone says like when it's like Oprah's recording and then the back guy, so he's like applause and then you should have one of those for when someone says something good. You just pull it out and like wait for
to direct the audience. Yeah, for sure. They need it.
We do have a studio here.
Yeah. This is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And this is not a mahjong table. This is a professional table.
Wow, she knew the table. That's culture.
Thank you.
That's culture. Also, the jade around your neck.
Thank you.
Which did my
Asia.
Okay, yeah. So this is a perfect segue.
No, yeah,
there's a perfect segue. I see what you're doing here. Hey, that was good. That was good. Can we round of applause, please? That was fucking fire. So to clear something up, because I'm actually curious. The jade, who got you that?
Your mother.
It was my mom.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Because I asked for it for my high school graduation.
That is what
really wanted it.
That's really why a jade?
Because Gatha was like talking to me about it, and she was like talking about Chinese culture and how like it's so like prominent, and like the idea behind it is like a protective thing. And Greek people are very like spiritual in that sense. They're superstitious. We have the evil eye, which I have on like 2 hands, and then once whatever. And we had like pomegranates around the house because it's like it's a protective kind of force, a purifying or whatever. Yes, yeah. And I'm very much for that. I need all the luck I can get. Let's be fucking honest, don't we all? So I was like, I really want one. They're very beautiful pieces, and I think it's cool that like whenever someone points it out, I could talk about Chinese culture and like how my family friends are like Chinese, half Colombian. Like I think it's very cool to be able to talk to you about talk about you guys. So it's cool.
That sounds okay. So now that I asked that question, it sounds like I was baiting for something like that.
No,
that's not what I meant. I was actually curious.
No, you weren't. But the main reason is I thought it was a good spiritual omen. Like I think that's very positive, and it is cool that I get to talk about you guys. And like I have a tattoo here that I got so I could talk about Sia and like how awesome she is. So like it's ditto. It's a ditto effect kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. So sometimes I 100% relate to that, and I like how you're honest about that. Sometimes people want to act like like.
Wait, what are you about to say? Some dumb shit.
No, yeah. Like sometimes like somebody will ask like, "Oh, what's that?" And they're like, "Actually, it's like really important." Like they'll like go super crazy like. On telling the meaning behind it, and the significance and all this stuff. But I like how you're like, I like when people like ask me about it, because I do the same thing. I'll be so honest. That's the whole fucking point of that ring. The whole point of this ring is like, hopefully somebody asks me, it's like, yeah, I actually have like fucking like 6 matching rings. It was like me and a bunch of my closest friends went to Iceland. It's forged in Iceland, and it used to be black. Because of the sulfur in the environment, that's the only thing that tarnishes silver. But like, it's washed off since then because like, I wear it.
What the fuck ever? Yeah,
like, it's because it's like worn in because like I wear it every day. So like I get to say all that shit. No, you know what I mean?
It's cool.
Like if someone's like, "What's the ring?" Like,
no,
simple question. I totally get that.
No, it is. It's a good main thing. Spiritual. I thought I really enjoyed the story behind it. I probably can't speak on it that well. Obviously, well, I'm not Chinese, but. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really speak on it, but it was... you know what I mean? I just wanted the audience to know.
I just love how you lifted the glasses to clarify.
I talked about movie White earlier, but no, that was... I'm sorry.
That was so perfect. I feel like
that makes you look bad, but like, I don't know.
No, that doesn't.
I just like want to
No, that doesn't. That was so fucking perfect. That was so perfect.
I'm sorry.
Listen, anyway. I am at least half Asian, so I get to say we approve this message. Okay. We approve this message. No one's gonna be. Come on,
I just wanted to clarify that I don't fully know the reason of the jade, but when I was told the story, I thought it was.
I don't even fully. I just know it's like a good luck thing. It is like a protective thing.
Yeah, right.
My grandma, like just to before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, as a quick aside tangent, my grandma. She used to scare the fuck out of us to keep this damn thing on like it was life or death, literally, because she would tell us a story about this guy when we were growing up, when I would be like, I don't really want to wear it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, because I had this thing, like, I don't know what it was, where when I would sleep at night, the feeling of having like a necklace that would be pressing on my neck was like a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, like when I was in my early teens. So I would be telling her that and whatever, and she's like, no, you have to wear it. You have to wear it. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I'm not, I don't want to fucking do her dirt like that. But
no, she's awesome.
She
awesome.
literally goes, and I don't think I could do the accent very well right now, but she literally fucking goes, like, there was a guy that wore his jade and then got into, like, was driving in China and then got into a terrible car accident. And then everyone else in the car died. Somehow he fucking miraculously survived, right? And he's in the hospital and he's somehow like in a coma, whatever. And then he wakes up from the coma and the doctors are like so impressed and surprised or whatever. And then the guy gets up. And then, you know, like as standard procedure, when they take off your clothing, they strip you of everything.
Yeah. They strip you of your medals too.
Yeah. In case they have to do MRIs and all that stuff. So he goes to grab his jade, or he goes to put on his jade or whatever, and the fucking jade drops on that tile hospital floor and shatters. And then the guy falls and dies in the moment.
Bruh.
And she was like, that is your life, Rose. I was like, get the fuck out. I was like, oh my God.
Bro, here's the thing. I'd fucking believe it.
I did.
Your grandmother's wise beyond her years. I'm sorry. I believe that shit. Don't even.
She hits you with that.
Don't play with
fucking
me.
Confucius said this.
And
Chinese
I believe it.
mystical.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. Yes,
you got me.
Put whatever you
Have
want.
you seen The Mummy with Jet Li? Like, you're basically like, you know about all those ritualistic type of things.
Yeah, dude. I listen. I believe it. I can't even lie. An old person's telling me something. I'm believing it.
Is it Jet Li? Did I get that wrong?
I have no idea. I don't know who it is. You can Google it, but I have no idea.
Anyways, no. So now, actually, to get into the important thing, the real
reason I'm here,
the literal reason,
the only reason you fucking have.
No, that's not why. That's
because
not
I'm
why.
an interesting person, regardless of this.
You are.
By the way,
you are for sure.
I
thanks
actually for having me on though.
100%.
Come on, excited.
Now. Come on now. That you don't got to thank me for that. Well, I'm super excited to talk to you about this because this is definitely, you got to experience something really, really unique, and not to like build it up so much, but I'll basically say, like, you recently went on a experience, study abroad, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me everything about it. I'll ask you questions here and there. The floor is yours, but you went where? To Singapore, right?
Well, but I first went to Australia to study for 8 weeks. So I was just studying like a regular uni, like a regular university, college, like just doing classes for the first 8 weeks. And then I had a week break, and then I went to Singapore, and I just worked in Singapore. So that was my main thing. And then I like traveled around Southeast Asia a bit.
And how many months total was this?
So it was about 5-ish months, the program itself. But then I extended my stay to stay in Australia because I actually got a boyfriend when I was abroad.
Okay, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. And I extended my trip about 3 weeks. So it was probably about 6 months.
Okay, so half a year.
So about
you spent
half a year.
So this is just to give you a really quick spark notes, dude. You spent, and I actually, it's not even, forget the audience. Like, you spent 6 months living in complete foreign lands, new cultures, experiencing all of this new stuff.
Awesome.
And at this stage in your life, where it's like these are such youthful, like formative years, obviously, right? What the fuck was that like? Like, what was all that like?
Actually, honestly, the best experience I've ever had in my life. Like, if anybody could take a chunk of like a year to travel out of any point in their lives, I would totally fucking recommend doing it. Because I also met people throughout my like travels that were older. Like, obviously I'm in my 20s, but like there was people that were traveling that were like in their 40s, in their 70s. Like, at any point in your life, if you could take a chunk off to fucking travel, do it. It's so worth it. It's never not going to be worth it. Like, whatever you think is better than traveling, it's not. And I'll be so honest about it. Like, traveling is so fucking cool. And like, it's a privilege.
It is for sure a privilege. And it's such an eye-opening experience. And like, it's something I talk a lot about on this show, but one of the reasons I'm honestly drawn to it is just because it really is like traveling a new experience, or is a gateway to new experiences.
Yeah. 100%.
And new experiences are like opportunities for your mind to grow and like for your character to develop, honestly. Yeah. I honestly think that. No,
I think that too. And I think like as much as people hate when people go and study abroad and they're like, I'm fucking different. It changed a lot of my like. No, you know what I mean.
I agree with you. 100%.
I'm sorry. People go to Europe and they're like, "I'm so."
I agree with you 100%.
Like, but it's a little bit true. Like, any experience you have does change you a bit. Like, good bad, mediocre, like it all does change you in a sense.
100%. And to be fair, you're no stranger to traveling to Europe or abroad. Like
No.
you're Greek, right?
Yeah.
I just want to like you're
Yes,
Greek
clarify,
and you've
yeah.
been to Greece multiple
Uh-huh.
times. As a pivotal part of like your not pivotal, but very important, essential part of your childhood, like
Yeah.
growing up, right?
Mm-hmm. It's well, obviously, like when you have parents that aren't from America and you get to travel to their country, whether regardless of where it is,
The
it does change the motherland. It does change you. Like
100%.
you see your culture in full effect, full blown, with no other culture to like water it down or anything. So it's definitely like it's an amazing experience because you get to see your culture 100%, no blinders, and it's awesome.
Yeah, like you get to see like the origins of why everything is the way it is in your
for
house,
you.
like why you grew up a
100%,
certain
yeah.
way, like how everything was shaped around you,
Yeah.
and like how heavy culture impacts your environment. And like what I'm trying to say with all this is basically that you're a vet to like traveling and all this stuff, and yet it was that impactful because you got to experience. Because like this is the thing, I just want to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
You walk me through it from A through Z, right? The floor is yours. Like I want you to tell me about this, but like first things first, you went to Australia, right? To start this whole thing off. Was that what was the home base of like the program that you did?
So I did it through my university, but they do it through like a side business. Like so there's like this thing called GAV, which are like a global adventures something. And they basically take universities and they're like, "Hey, give us some of your students. We'll put them all together in a foreign country. We'll house them. We'll give them like their accommodation. We'll give them the university they're studying and the different like classes they're going to be taking or whatever." So like the home base, there's not really a home base, I guess, but like where I started abroad was Australia, in Sydney, Australia.
Damn.
And then you could go. So the first 8 weeks, everyone is in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
And then you can pick where you are for your internship, which it was either Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, you could say in Australia, or Auckland, New Zealand. So, and Hong Kong. Sorry, forgot about Hong Kong. How could I forget about Hong Kong? It's awesome. Anyway, sorry. I was originally going to stay in Australia because from when I was a freshman going into college, I had always thought, like, I need to be in Australia at some point in my life for some reason. That's why I have to, like, I don't know what it is. I'm drawn there. And I was going to spend my whole time there. But then I was sitting with my advisor and he was like, well, Australia is very similar to the States. It's very similar to, like, something you've already experienced. Go to Singapore. I recommend it. Everybody that goes there loves it. Like, it's a mix of Asian culture with it's a little bit more westernized than Hong Kong. And you'll get to experience all these different cultures blended together. And it's everyone says it's amazing. Do it. And I was like, you know what? You're kind of right. Why would I want to stay in one place that I've already witnessed the culture? I've already lived there 8 weeks. Like, again, it's a westernized place. Like, they were colonized by the British. It's all white people, whatever. Like, you've seen it. It's been there and done that kind of thing. And he was like, you seem like a person you're gonna want a new thing. And I was like, you know what? You've convinced me. I Googled Malaysia because if you don't know, Malaysia and Singapore, like, Singapore's attached to Malaysia. So I Googled Malaysia and Singapore and I looked at it and I was like, this skyline's fucking awesome. I'm sold. You can sell me on a skyline. I don't care. Like, I don't gotta know much. Just, it's gotta be pretty. So it felt very like a city. It looked beautiful, looked amazing. I didn't know much. I was like, what? You're right. Why would I want to not be in two fucking places? How cool is it that I get to say I lived in two different countries? I'm there. So then I did it. And he was freaking right, let me tell you. Like,
wait, but this is you said Singapore or Malaysia that you...
Well, yeah, I Googled Malaysia because... So Singapore is a very small country. So you can travel really easily to Malaysia, which is why I picked Malaysia.
And other Asian countries.
Well...
Right?
Well, yes, obviously you could get to other Asian countries very easily. But like Singapore and Malaysia, you could take a bus and in an hour you'll hit Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because Singapore was so small, I was like, I want another country that maybe I can get to, or like some easy kind of form of travel, and that was to Malaysia. So I was like, let me just read up on Malaysia on a weekend if I want. If I'm bored of Singapore, let me just get there. Like, let me go somewhere else. And so I like Googled the travel. I Googled how easy it was, and it was very simple, and they're very close together. Malaysia's cheaper than Singapore. Singapore is like one of the, like, if not the richest, one of the richest countries in the world for many reasons. But I was like, I need to research the adjacent country as well, because I want to be able to travel as much as I can. And so both were very alluring. They have similar cultures ish, but for the most part they feel very similar. Malaysia's capital, which I believe is Kuala Lumpur, which is where I visited when I was in Malaysia, they give the same vibe. So I was like, let me research both and like see what I like. And nah, it was awesome. Like they both seemed so cool. So I was like, I'm sold. It's basically going to like New York and then
Boston.
Yeah, basically a little bit different, but kind of the same vibe.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're gonna feel the same
Similar,
kind of culture.
Yeah.
You can still be able to find your Irish pubs or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was similar.
So let me ask you. So if you had to like, so this trip was 6 fucking months long.
Basically.
In chapter 1 of the trip, right? You obviously have to take the flight. How long was the flight from?
Well,
what was that traveling like?
So chapter 1, let me tell you, got us skewed. Okay. Before I even was leaving for the trip, I broke my ankle. So to begin with, this was a shitty experience. Like, it was shit off the bat because...
Can you...
I'll explain.
Can you tell the story of how you broke your fucking ankle? I know the story, but this is some fucking...
It was New Year's Eve, and my friend...
First of all, when are you set to leave?
I'm set to leave January 12th. I'm set to take a flight all the way to Australia. Was going to land on the 13th. And that was my trip.
So 13 days before
13
you're supposed
days
to leave.
Before I'm supposed to land in Australia, because mind you, the flight to Australia is very long. So if you're leaving the 12th, you're most likely getting there on the 13th. The 13th.
I see what you're saying.
Or whatever. That's just like how my flights kind of panned out. Anyway. So January motherfucking 1st. I am out with my friends. Not even out. I'm actually at my own house. I threw a party, but like... I'm outside with my friends, and my lovely friend was like, "Hey P, you can bench me." I was like, "Hey buddy."
Wait, bench?
No. Like, well, squat me.
Squat. Okay.
Squat me. Sorry, squat me.
I was like, you would have fucked up your elbow or wrist then.
Squat me. And I was like, "Hey buddy, no, I can't." And he was like, "Yeah, I believe in you." I was like, okay. I was a little bit terpsed. I was drunk. And I was like, I wasn't totally coherent. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I think you're being silly, blah, blah, blah. And he decides to jump on me at one point in time in this conversation. And he jumps on me, and I'm not ready for him. I'm not secure. I can barely walk myself. Whatever. He jumps on me, and I just fall. I fall with him to the floor. He immediately gets up, by the way, and was like, "You're fat shaming me." Hey, buddy, you just broke my fucking ankle.
Did you feel it right away? Did you feel it right away?
It hurt for sure. And looking back on it, it was definitely a pop. I didn't want to admit it, but it was a pop. It was a pop to my ankle.
Okay, so which ankle did you break?
My right one.
Is your right calf smaller than your left calf?
My right calf was smaller than my left, for sure. I think it is probably they're about the same now because I've been running recently.
Oh yeah.
And I've been like trying to build back up.
Yeah, that's dope.
For a few months, but they definitely feel different. There's definitely I definitely feel a difference in the two of them. So yeah. Hey, if you're watching this, that hurt. Thank you.
You don't. Like so you break your ankle, you felt it, and you thought it was a pop. You could definitely.
Looking back, I didn't want to admit it because I was like, I didn't fucking break my ankle before I have to go 6 months abroad. That's not fucking a thing. But yeah, no, it was definitely a pop. It definitely felt funny. I did walk on it after. I don't know why I did that. But again, I was drunk. It was a whole thing.
Did you have to get surgery to repair it?
No, thankfully I didn't. If I had to get surgery, I wouldn't have been able to go.
So walk me through like the recovery and then like.
So it was a rough period for me and my family. We took a loss, right? They were all so upset, rightfully so. They're about to send their daughter off to a foreign country with a fucking ailment. Like, that sucks. But the doctor was like, no, I think you'll be fine. Get another x-ray before you get on the flight. I did. And he was like, it hasn't moved. You're good. You don't need surgery. You're fine. Get on the flight. Find a doctor when you land. And they'll take it from there. He was like, you're not going to an underdeveloped country. You're not going to a place that doesn't have health care, that doesn't have like good health care. You'll be okay. Like, you'll be fine. If you were going to some underdeveloped country, I would think twice about letting you go, but you'll be okay. You'll be good. So I was like, great. So my experience on the flight, I flew United, and they were all, I'll name drop because they were really good. Like, it was great. The flight attendants were so sweet. The flight there, I went to Houston first for like, what it was, like 7 hours or something. The lady sitting next to me, she was a sweetheart, let me put my leg in her leg room. And she was like, honey, like, what happened to you? Did you like go skydiving and break your ankle? And I was like, first of all, thank you so much for thinking I'm that cool to go fucking skydiving. Thank you. But no, I didn't. I wasn't that adventurous. My friends were being fucking stupid. Anyway, she was so fucking nice. And then the next flight, I got carted around, by the way, through the airport. I felt like a fucking princess. I didn't have to do anything. And then Houston to Australia was a different story, but they got me a whole row with my it was just me, the whole fucking row.
In economy or like
in economy,
business or
no, in economy
plus? Like, what are we talking?
Well, it was I think it was economy. I don't know. I think it was
but you
economy.
got a whole. I mean, the whole row is basically first class. Come on.
Yeah, my ass was lied the fuck down.
So you fit in like, because 3 chairs I feel like is not enough to lay down. Fully extended leg. If your ankle's
fully
broken?
Extended leg. No, I was legged out, brother. Yeah, fully extended. That was nice. And I'm tall. Like,
yeah, you're tall.
I am. Yeah. No, I was good.
Wait, how many seat? How many? 3?
3. It was a 3 row.
What?
Yeah, nah.
Yo, United got some wide assed seats.
Hey, be woke. People got big butts, okay?
Yeah, but it's just like,
people got big butts.
I did not think, because then that means I could kind of lay in like a 3 seat. Okay. Might buy a whole row or something.
Yeah, you should. I recommend. It was great. But there was a fear of, obviously, like, whenever you're flying and you have a broken anything or kind of any ailment, there's fear of blood clotting because you don't have blood.
Holy shit!
You don't have the same blood flow.
Oh my god!
Right?
Okay, that makes sense.
It's condensed, and you expand as altitude rises. Obviously, hello science, you're gonna expand as well. So there was definitely like I was nervous, mainly because the doctor had like mentioned blood clots are more likely, and blood clots, if you don't catch them,
they could be lethal.
Yeah, right. So I was a little bit worried about that, but I'm young and youthful, so I was like, I'll give it a go. Who fucking cares? I die, whatever. It was meant to happen, you know. And obviously not. That's a little morbid, but like, you know what I mean. Like, yeah. I needed to do it, right? Yeah. So I was fine. Whatever. Landed in Australia. Found.
How long was the flight?
So I had a connecting one, so one was 7 hours, and then the other one was probably like 15, 16.
Oh, that's not terrible.
No.
That's not terrible.
Just about 38 hours of travel.
No, wait, 38.
Well, if you like calculate the whole time.
Is 7 hours, are you including like car rides to the airport?
Well, I'm including like the layover and stuff.
How long did you have to wait at the airport in Houston?
I was about 4 hours.
So you
maybe I don't know. I can't do math.
Flew 7 hours from New York to Houston.
Yeah, and then I had like a 4-hour layover, something like that. Maybe it was 3 or 4.
Okay.
And then 15 hours.
So that's 25 hours.
About math, good math.
Because you said 38.
38 was my ride home, so I just like equated them both to be the same thing.
Oh, okay, got you. But because you went from home. From where? Singapore?
I went from Australia to Hong Kong to the United States.
So you got to experience Hong Kong too. How many countries did you visit throughout this entire stay? 6-month period.
I would say 6, maybe 6.
That's amazing.
6 wasn't, and it felt like not a lot, to be honest. Like, I wish I could.
Well, I guess it's.
So I would have done more because my friends did more, but I had people visiting me when I was in Singapore, which I loved having people visit me. Don't get me wrong. That was me.
That was the previous. That was one of the previous episodes. Actually, your sister.
Yes,
shout out
yes,
to D.
yes.
Thank you.
Shout out to D. She came and visited me, which was fucking amazing. I wouldn't have changed that. That was awesome having her over. But my friends went to like Seoul during one of the weekends, and then Indonesia during the other one.
You didn't go to Seoul?
Dude, don't even get
I would have been like
don't
this.
Even get me. Dude, I was about to, bro. I was actually like so close.
How many days would you have missed out? Like, would you have seen
2
her?
days.
Would you have seen her?
Yeah, I would have landed the day she landed. But
From Seoul?
It was $600 to get to Singapore to Seoul. So I was like, I can't dish out $600 for about 48 hours. I couldn't have done it. Because on top of that, you have to think about the accommodation, all the food you're eating in Seoul. Like, it was just, I was obviously gonna go out in Seoul. So it was just like it
food and drink is cheap in Seoul, dude.
I don't know.
Shit
adds up.
It could get really expensive, but there are some really, 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 really affordable fucking restaurants. That's what we're trying to go do tonight, by the way. I didn't know if I said that earlier, but whatever. Anyways, not to sidetrack. But I cannot believe,
dude. Don't even get me started. It's one of my.
I would have said deuces.
It's a big regret of mine. But I'm broke, balling on a budget. I'm out.
I mean, you're a college student.
Yeah, I'm a college student out there on my own. Like, that's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah. No, it's totally
a lot of money I didn't have. So it was okay. I still had it was a great time. I had a great weekend. But regardless, I missed out on Indonesia and Seoul, so that would have been cool to experience. A few of my friends abroad went to Japan, which would have been cool, but I couldn't dish out money for Japan because, like, I knew the second I landed in Japan, I need a week at least to go do all the things I want to do in Japan. So I was like, could. Well, yeah, probably. You need like 2 weeks or something.
I had my study abroad experience was only 10 days and it was in Japan. Yeah. My dumb. Do you know how stupid I was? I had such poor foresight when I was like, I literally like, I knew no one that was in the program.
Yeah, same.
And instead of being like looking forward to it, I was dreading it. I think I have weird social anxiety sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Which is crazy because you're very social.
I mean, I guess. But I was just like, I don't want to fucking, like, man, I don't know any of these people and I'm going to go on a trip. I think 10 days is good enough for me. Even though it was Japan, I didn't think that I was going to love my experience.
Yeah.
So then we went there and then like I befriended some people on the trip and by the end of it, like that's a whole other story. But then by the end of it, basically they were like, oh yeah, we're staying for another like week or like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, because this was over break that this experience happened. And I was like, I'm not. And I just left. And that's one of the stupidest things. Like looking back, I'm like, fuck. I wish I would have just spent the extra, like, it was like, it would have worked out to an extra $300 for airfare.
And that's it. That's crazy.
It's just literally a decision that I made of like, I don't want to spend that much time. Stupidly. Now, if I could take it all back, that was like one of my major first travel experiences too, by the way. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like by myself, I was scared. I had like anxiety.
No, it is scary. It is scary to like.
Is that your first time traveling by yourself?
Yeah, ish. I think. Yeah, probably.
Months?
Probably like fully alone. Yeah. I knew no one because I went into my program as well, not knowing anybody. I had met like a few people from my university like once or twice in meetings, but that was it. Like I didn't really know anyone.
For like briefings on the trip, this is the process. Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do.
So I was dreading my trip once I broke my ankle because I was like, everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking loser because I broke my ankle and I'm on crutches, and who wants to hang out with the girl on crutches? That was my idea. Obviously, I met some really awesome, beautiful people, and they obviously weren't like that. But that was my thought process going in. I'm like, I'm the fucking weirdo with crutches. Like, this sucks. Don't laugh.
That's fair.
What I was thinking.
That's fair.
You know,
honestly, that is
like,
fair.
I don't know.
I
was like, I'm fucking slow. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I physically walk slow. Like, it's gonna be upsetting. Whatever. Obviously, my friends were not like that. They were very accommodating. They were very sweet, and they were like happy because like I would Uber everywhere. You know, I'm not walking. Like I'm Ubering. I also got a scooter while I was there, but we'll get into it anyway. So land there, whatever, meet my roommates. They're all from my university. They're all awesome. They're very cool. Like, it was awesome. The girl I like lived with, so we were in like an apartment where it's like a 4-person apartment, but there was 2 bedrooms, so you shared a room with 1 person.
Okay.
My roommate that I like shared the actual room with, awesome. Like, she's a gem. Like, she was so cool, and it was so cool. Like, it was so nice having a person that I felt so comfortable with abroad when I knew no one. Like, it was very cool having her, and she's so adventurous. She like got me out of my shell, got me to go places, because I was very much like scared because I had a broken ankle. I was like, oh, well, like, it's annoying to have to go to a restaurant that doesn't have like an elevator if you have to go to the 2nd floor. Like, it was very different experiencing a new city with an ailment that was like, you're basically disabled.
It's an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's an inconvenience. You have to find the like handicap chair, like all the elevators for handicapped people. You have to find handicap seating. You have to make sure like people know that
it's
you
just
can't
a lot
walk.
to plan for. Yeah.
And hey, Sydney, Australia, become more fucking handicap friendly. Let me tell you something.
So
that's gonna be, if I move there, that's gonna be my initiative. Let me tell you, because it was fucking hard. Because the train, to get on the fucking train is a lip. There's a lip from the ground floor to the train itself.
Okay.
So I had a scooter.
A gap or a lip?
A lip. So you have to like, it's like a step.
Okay.
Like, you have to physically step up to get onto the train.
And those train steps are steep.
And that shit goes fast. Those fucking doors close in 30 seconds. So my dumbass either crutching, or I had my scooter. So I'd have to get on my fucking scooter, throw the scooter on, and then fucking hobble on. What bullshit is that? What kind of handicap bullshit is that? You don't even have a ramp. You don't even have a ramp for me. I couldn't imagine anybody that has to deal with that every day for their whole life. Fuck that.
They don't take public transportation.
No, clearly they don't. But anyway, that's how I got to my classes. And the fucking buses. What kind of bullshit tilting they have to do? First of all, they're like, oh, handicap person, let me tilt the bus 2 fucking degrees. And they go with the air. there's no ramp again. So they tilt 2 fucking degrees, and whoever, if you're in a fucking wheelchair, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know, because you can't travel alone, because people have to lift you onto the thing. Even women with fucking baby carriages. Also, another thing, Australia, guys, get up for the handicap and get up for the pregnant women. And
they don't do
children.
that?
They barely.
Yo, that's hilarious. They're over there just like, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that, mate. That's what they're doing. Because like, I'm sorry. Hey, love Australia, love Australians. Shout out to you all. But they're fucking sitting pretty in the handicap seats. I'm fucking, by the way, subway surfing with a fucking scooter on the bus. No one getting up for me. Clearly, by the way, the fucking ailment I had so obvious, because I obnoxiously throw my scooter on the bus so it makes a doom, and then I jump on, which makes another doom. So you clearly see I'm getting on the bus. I'm causing havoc.
Were you kind of bashful in the way you threw it, or you just heave that shit onto the bus?
Flew that. Because again, no one wants to wait for the disabled girl. Okay, no one wants to fucking wait. So you're just like, no,
I'm there. I'm there.
I'm jumping on, right? You clearly see me getting on with your fucking Beats headphones and your little iPhone fucking 15, bitch. Skinny ass, you can look at me and get up, can't ya? You're 21. I know we're the same age. Get the fuck up.
I agree. I would agree.
Because also, this was on me a little bit. I didn't realize my brakes could pop out on my scooter. So for the first week of having the scooter, I was rolling. Any movement on the bus, that shit was rolling. I didn't realize it popped out to fucking fully brake. And that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Okay? Because I could have had a better bus experience, but that shit moved. So I was literally subway surfing. I was I look dumb as shit. Holding on to 2 fucking
with
poles.
A backpack?
With a backpack. Fucking sweating. By the way, it was fucking summer over there.
Yeah, how hot is that? Okay, so walk me through the first things you notice about Australia if you had to make a quick list. Like,
everything's uphill.
What?
But I don't know. Well, so I was
You were
living
on
in
a
Bondi
scooter, though.
Junction.
Bondi?
Hey, that's still uphill, buddy.
Okay.
Whether you're on a scooter or not.
No,
that
but
shit's
I'm saying
still
I feel like
uphill.
you would recognize it more because you're on wheels.
Okay, so if I wasn't on wheels, ableist. Okay. Let me fucking normal bodied person.
I'm saying, hey, do you have a scooter right now?
Nah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
First thing is like, honestly,
Heat.
the heat it's pretty intense, but it's not more than a New York summer, I would say.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I actually really didn't think it was that hot.
Humid or not?
I thought Singapore weather was worse.
But is Australia humid or not?
No, not really.
So it's a dry New York summer heat. That's bearable.
Yeah, it was
That's very
bearable. It was pretty bearable. And everywhere has AC, so it was fine.
So what was the first thing you noticed that you were like?
The prices of things
What
was
like,
definitely
what do you mean?
definitely different. Like, so because I was living there, obviously I was buying groceries. The prices of shit there is definitely like different. Well, the conversion kind of makes it like but like a lot of their shit's pretty expensive.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. But I was also in Sydney, so like I was in a major city, so it's a little bit different.
So it's like visiting
New
US
York,
and thinking
it's
New
like
York
New
prices
York
are
prices.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Ish.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
judge
pretty
the
New York
US
prices.
based off of New York prices. That just
no,
be crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Off of any major city I hear, I would be like, don't judge the US off of those prices. Go to like a suburb and like figure it out.
100% agree.
Yeah.
So you go over there and you notice that the groceries were expensive and all this
groceries
stuff?
are pretty expensive, yeah.
Why'd
in
you
my opinion.
Why'd you mention
So-
Bondi Junction?
Well, because so different parts of Sydney are different.
Mhm.
So like Bondi Junction is known to be an affluent area. Well, it's really Bondi. So Bondi Junction's like, I was literally right above the train station of Bondi Junction, which is like, so they do it a little differently. Sydney is like a blanket term for the city. But like there's different parts of Sydney, like Bondi Junction, that's like a suburb. So they like label it differently. Our suburbs are like us, Rockland County.
Mhm.
And then you have the 5 boroughs, which is like
The city. Yeah.
Right. But Manhattan's the city,
Mhm.
right? Like you're not going to Brooklyn and being like, I'm going to Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like a little different. There, it's like Sydney's the blanket term for everything, but you have like, so my boyfriend's from like Lane Cove, which is like a suburb of Sydney, but it's still considered Sydney.
Okay.
Like he would say he's from Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
He wouldn't be like, I'm from Lane Cove, which is, we would be like, we're from Pearl River, New York. Like they don't say that. They say like,
Well, what
their
do you say?
term
What
would
do
be
you
like,
say
they're
if somebody
Manhattan.
asks you where you're from? I just say
I
I'm
usually
from
say
New York.
New York, but then they're like, where in New York? Well, people assume I'm from the city, and I'm like, I'm like 45 minutes outside of the city.
I never specify.
I usually do because
I
don't
just
want,
let them think whatever they want.
I mean, maybe I should have, but like, I also, hey, everybody there thinks I have a very thick accent. They're like, you have a thick accent.
Everyone where?
Everyone abroad. I went anywhere and they're like, holy shit, you're American. And I was like, yeah, hello. But even over my friends that were from like Virginia or whatever, even them, they were like, you have a New York accent. And I was like, no, fuck. Like, no, I don't. But apparently I do. I didn't know it. I'm from the fucking suburbs. How do I have a New York accent?
I don't think you have a New York accent. Maybe it's sometimes, you know how you kind of do this thing where you go in and out of accents?
Yeah, I do.
I do off camera. I don't really do that on camera.
No, I do. Well, I do that for like a country or like British, whatever. But like a New York one, I do say talk sometimes, like weird,
Talk.
or I'll say like
talk is crazy.
Yeah, I do say that sometimes. I especially if I'm like a little bit tipsy or drunk, like I'll let that shit go.
Yeah,
like
what
I
are
won't
you
be
talking about?
I won't be
yeah.
like, oh, don't do that. Like enunciate your words. Like I won't like, you know what I mean? Like I won't sit and like filter myself. But abroad, I was like, holy shit, I should fucking filter myself because everyone's being like, you have such an accent. And I was like, no, fuck. Okay.
You should wear that shit proud. What you mean?
No, but everybody did enjoy it. But you know what I mean? I was like, holy shit, I didn't think I had an accent until I came over here. And then I was
You
like,
were
oh
probably
my
like the
God,
funny one of the
like,
group, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No?
Well,
Australians
my
are
friends
actually
funny.
known to be very fucking funny, though.
Hey, not really. We cut that out because I feel like I'll be come for. But like,
Hey, I'm not cutting that out. That was way too good. Hold on,
No.
wait. That literally fights
listen.
against
they're
every
funny.
single fucking thing.
They're funny. They are.
Well, why'd you say no then?
Because here's the thing about Australians. Here's the thing about Australians. that's different from Americans. They won't come up to you. You're in a bar, even though you're a pretty little lady, they won't come up to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
care.
no fucking difference. That's not any different from.
That's not true. I get here, men come up to me, and
that's
not boasting.
I'm saying that I was going to say that. Yeah, that doesn't sound any different because no one comes up to me at fucking like that doesn't make any.
But
you're like what you're saying is not different.
Okay,
for me.
Right,
for my experience,
for
my
you.
experience.
But you would go, you see a pretty girl. Well, you're taking.
Yeah,
he's off the market, people. But you're sitting in a bar. You see a pretty little lady.
Yeah,
you're gonna be like, maybe I'll go up to her. Right.
That is definitely
that's the male American experience. That's the 100%. American experience, right?
100%.
A female American will sit in a bar and wait and clock it.
The expectation is
5 minutes. Someone's coming up to me. American girl walks in a bar, eyes are on her. Sorry, if there's a man, it's only men. A woman walks in, all eyes are on her, right?
Yeah.
Straight men, right?
In America, you're saying?
Yes, in America.
Yeah.
Australia, no one will come up to you in a bar. Like, Australians don't do that. That's not a thing. You don't pick up people in a bar.
They got
that's not a thing.
That's still the British in them.
Yeah.
That's
we gotta. Hey, we'll work on it. Whatever. But, yeah, no, that's like that's something that doesn't happen.
Opposite of what I would have thought.
Yeah, right. So we went up, like me and my friends. We're just very friendly people. So we go up to people, whatever. So the only Australians we met were whoever it was, and it was like an off one, right? Like you wouldn't, like I didn't really sit and like chat with them when I was abroad until like I went to go visit my boyfriend, and then it was like I got the Australian experience, but I wasn't really like my boyfriend's funny. I'm funny though, you know. I'm a funny gal. Sorry, hate to tell you, I'm fucking funny. You can't even lie.
I would agree.
Yeah, I'm a funny person.
Yeah,
so
I would
like,
agree.
And my friends here, hey, sorry. And my friends here are fucking hilarious. So it's hard for me to like judge a funny person and be like, yeah, you're funny.
No, but it's just like so opposite of everything I've ever heard about Australians. Like in low key, like your boyfriend too. I would have thought like who? Okay.
No, he's funny. He is.
First of all, hold on. In fact, can we gotta address the elephant in the room?
Yeah, we can.
So you go abroad. Does your boyfriend still lives in Australia?
Yeah,
right?
He does.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be like that guy.
No,
right?
Be that guy.
But obviously, like long distance relationship is just it's known to have like a bad
it's known to be impractical.
Yeah. I was just gonna say it has a bad misconception about it. It really depends on the two people, I believe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'm fucking in one, but yeah.
Yeah, no. But actually I'm not in a long distance relationship, but I do actually think, and I'm not even just saying this, I do think it's like there are certain people that can definitely make that work, and it's like something that they are capable of.
Yeah.
If you're not capable of it, you're just not capable of it. I don't think all people are. But how did that happen? Like, how did...
I know, right? How the fuck did it happen? No, so we started hanging out, and then, like, we went on a few dates, and then I was like, oh, I know, like, I could like this guy, right?
Wait, but how did you guys meet? Like, that's
so we met on Hinge.
Hinge. So you went on the.
Well, so
I'm guessing you went out to the bars and you're like, why the fuck? And so
why
then you went on the.
Isn't anybody? I'm awesome and fucking cool. Hello. Why isn't anyone coming up to me? No, I'm just kidding. But it was like okay, like I want to know what it's like to like date a foreigner, right? Whatever. So I was like, let me go on the apps. Whoever I find, whatever. So it's going on a few dates.
Okay.
And for some reason, before we even went out, we had been texting, and I was like, I am really excited about this for some reason. We didn't even like talk that much. We were literally only talking about the date. Like there was no fucking reason for me to be like, I'm really excited to meet this guy. Like he seems really cool. He didn't fucking seem that cool. He had asked me out for drinks, and we were just planning drinks. Like there was no reason for me to think he was cool.
Okay.
Right. He is cool, let me tell you. But like it was just like that.
You didn't have data at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we really didn't talk, and it was surface level, very surface level. And the other dates I had been like were going on or had been on, I was like not as excited for. And there was one date before I had met him that I was like, I don't even know if I should go on, because it was like the day before we were going out. And I was like, I don't even want to go on a date with this guy because I'm so excited about the other guy. Like, why do I even like why should I even go on this date? Like, it seems fucking pointless because I'm so excited about the other one. And this guy, like, is sorry. Like, I don't know. I don't even remember his name, but it was just like the reality of the situation. Like, I didn't care. And my friends were like, no, go on. And I was like, I'm going to be boring and I'm not going to like it. And you know what? Hey, turns out the guy was fucking boring. Long story short, whatever. Like, it was friend vibes. I didn't even care because I was like not even in it because I was so excited about the other one. Then went on a date with him and it was just like, hey, shock and a half. I was fucking yapping the whole time, right? The first half an hour we had gone for drinks.
What's homeboy's name?
Alex.
Alex.
But I call him Duke.
Duke.
Because his name's really fancy. So I call him Duke because my best friend's name's Alex and I didn't want it to be confusing. So I was like, I need a nickname for you. He had given me a nickname because he really liked my nickname PP. Hello, it's an awesome fucking nickname. But he was sorry, it is. Hello, PP.
Yeah.
Who doesn't fucking love that? Who doesn't giggle at that, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I need one for you. And I can't just like, couldn't off the gate call him like baby. Like,
yeah, of course.
Whatever.
So you think Duke.
So I was like, you sound like you could be a Duke. I'm going to call you Duke.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, sure. So from here on, I've only called him Duke. And most of my friends and family all know him as Duke. And no one really knows him as Alex, but his name is Alex.
So Duke, the entire time, you were the one who was dominating the conversation when you guys first started talking?
Yeah. Are you shocked?
I'm not, but it's not only, I hate to say this, but I definitely perceived Australians wrong if what you're saying, I mean, you were there for several months, so you got the experience, but like, I would have thought based off of my perception of them that they would have been super extroverted.
Some of them are. Well, my boyfriend's just shy at first, so like, yeah.
I'm not trying to say a blanket for the whole, but I'm saying culturally, like just culturally.
Culturally, you would think they're more outgoing than in my experience, than they are.
Like, yeah.
But I was also like, I was around college kids, so it was like I'm maybe not getting like the real 20s,
like the adults,
your real
like
adult 20s kind of.
And there's also
thing.
like all the people in 30s, 40s, like the rest of the.
And hey, a lot of these bars, these guys are like 18, right? Like, I'm not talking to an 18-year-old. Sorry, I'm older than you, and it's not by a lot, but I still think there's a legal. You're 18, bitch. I don't fucking know you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like fucking 3 years older than an 18-year-old, but I'm like, I can't touch you. You're in high school.
Yeah. That makes sense. You're in college. Yeah,
I'm in college. There's a hierarchy.
But I mean, like, it's just like, I really would have thought, like, dude, when you said, like, when I heard through the grapevine that you had a boyfriend in Australia, I was like, yo, what? Somebody, like, what Australian, like, was like,
what are you fucking about?
No. I was like, what Australian, like, walked up to an American girl and was, like, saying, like, spitting game with, like, because that's a foreigner to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like cuffed a foreigner. And then I'm thinking like, yo, he was probably spitting game. And in my head, I was imagining he'd be like, oh, like, shrimp on your bobby. Like something like that. Like some shit like that.
Thing.
I know
shrimp
it's not. That's all
like
Outback.
Actually not
and
a
Outback is
thing.
not even fucking Australian.
No.
And the two founders of it haven't even been to Australia.
I hate Americans.
It's an American corporate fucking themed Australian restaurant.
That's terrible.
But anyways, so Australia, that is super shocking that you're saying that they're not as extroverted. But you dominated the conversation.
I did. Well, don't I always?
You do.
Yeah,
you do. But that's a good thing. So how was Duke like afterwards? Like what did he first perceive you as an American? What was that like? Well,
he was like, she's so beautiful and amazing. I must have her.
Oh my God.
Right. So that was his. No, okay. He was like, she has a lot of good things to say. Like, that's like, he enjoyed that I had a lot to say because he's shy. Okay. So he was like, I enjoyed that you didn't make it an awkward date because I can be awkward sometimes. Not that he was awkward, he wasn't. Like, and it was a very good date. And like, yeah, I talked a lot, but like he contributed as well. But it was like, he was shy at first and like nervous. Yeah, so he was like, I liked that you were a little more extroverted than I am because it made us flow easier. Don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm just like, I'm giggling because I like relate to this. It's the same thing with Hannah's like legitimately like when we first met, she didn't say shit.
Yeah.
Was yapping the whole fucking time.
First of all, you want to know how I knew I was yapping? His drink gone, mine full to the fucking brim after
like,
a half an hour. And then I was like, you know what? It's
I could need like a little sip. Like the vocal cords need a little bit of hydration. Like
I was like, oh my god, my throat's dry. I went go to get a sip. I looked at his drink and I was like, oh, so I didn't shut the fuck up, did I? And I said that to him. I was like, oh, so I haven't stopped fucking talking. Maybe I should. Why don't you talk so I should drink? Huh?
How thick is his Australian accent?
I actually don't think it's very thick, but he is always like, oh, I like dull it for you. And I was like, that's fucking offensive.
Yeah, that kind of.
But
if I were you, I'd be like, what the fuck?
No, yeah,
like, turn that shit, crank it up.
I'm like, yeah, talk like.
Do you think the Australian accent is sexy?
I do. I
you
like
have to.
it.
Yeah, you know what?
Like
you know, I had to ask you that because I have always said like, I think all Americans think Australian, British.
Yeah.
There's Spanish. Like there are certain accents to like American English
French.
Speakers. Yeah,
it's good. Dude.
That they just hear it and they're like, oh, that has a little bit of that like salt, like that pepper, that seasoning, like the spice. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. Yeah.
Australia, like I don't even know. Like I just think of, I don't know. It's just like it.
Well, okay, you're thinking of like Chris fucking Hemsworth, probably. Like you're thinking of this fucking the fucking Thor. Like,
well, in my head, I was thinking of a woman.
Oh, sorry,
with an Australian accent.
Yeah,
but also him though. Honestly.
Yeah, you're so.
Where's his hammer at?
So bro, that's fucking crazy.
So go ahead.
You know, that's fucking crazy. You had that on shit on lock. What, are you a fucking nerd or what?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Good for you.
That's fucking. This thing's heavy too. Go ahead. Are you worthy? Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's heavy, huh?
This is how much I bench at the gym. It is. Holy shit. Anyway.
So go ahead. Sorry, I totally cut you off. You were talking about accents, Australian accents.
And I was the thing about Australian accents, like, oh, they're sexy to me. Like, what the fuck do you hear in my accent that you're like, that's hot vibes? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
do they think that?
He likes my accent. Like, yeah, he likes an American accent.
What does he lack? There has to. I would imagine if like you guys were characters in a movie, some of the things that. Tell me if I'm right about this. Okay. One of the things that you probably think is like one of these cute things is like you say something in an American accent. He's like, he probably giggles like. That's funny because like it's just it'll be like one little thing and then you're like what and then he's like no thing you're like what and then it's like no you said it funny. Well, what is that? Has that happened?
Yeah, but I get offended when he laughs at me when I say something because
what was it though? But he thought it was cute.
I said like coffee or something. I said it like
coffee.
That. Yeah, so
no, but if you say coffee like CAW,
sometimes when I talk fast, I do say it sometimes. So I said it because I was talking really fast and I was like explaining something. Blah, 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 whatever. And he like giggled and I was like, the fucking independent woman in me was like, the fuck did you just say? Why are you giggling? What's wrong? I was like, what the fuck did I say was funny? I didn't say a joke, did I? And then he was like, no, like I'm not laughing at you, babe. Like I just like the way you said that. And I was like, I was like, what the fuck did I say? And like getting mad about it. Yeah, so it's like, the fuck? Like, why are you laughing at me? You shouldn't be giggling.
That's so funny.
Like, hello? And then he was like, no, I just like really like the way you said it. And I was like, okay, fine, fair.
What has he said that you find to be like?
He just
what's it like dating an Australian dude? Like what the fuck?
It's
like,
great. Let me tell you. No, he's fucking awesome. Like I caught a gem. I don't even know how. Like he is genuinely like so awesome. But he says words that are very like pompous, in my opinion. Like things that like no one would ever say.
That's
in, like,
that British shit, dude.
Yeah, it is. Like
that's that British
like,
shit.
I don't even know. I'm trying.
Like, are you gonna pick up the phone? Are you gonna answer the phone? Are you gonna answer the telephone? Like they like add on. Like they just the words they shorten are ridiculous, and then the words that they like use on the regular that are so fucking long is ridiculous. Like there is no reason you should shorten McDonald's as Macca's and like say fucking like Macca's
potentially. In like your regular fucking, well, not even potentially. Potentially is like a fucking short word. I don't even know what to say. Like words that they use that are so long, but it's just like jarring what they use that are like they're long fucking
like
words
Americans are to the point we use the least syllables possible. They want to maximize syllables.
Yeah, and then
per sentence.
The things they want to like shorten, or they shorten everybody's name. They have nicknames for everybody all the time, and it's like, why are you shortening someone's name? And not shortening the fucking filler words you're using in a regular sentence. It doesn't make sense.
Like I want to.
They say avo for afternoon. And I'm like, that's
bothers
fucking
me.
avocado, brother.
Yeah, I would have said when you said avo, I'm like,
that's
shit,
an
yeah,
avocado,
with some toast, right?
Yeah, with some fucking toast. Avo
like,
on fucking
no, I meant
toast.
the afternoon, mate.
Yeah,
what
like,
the
I'll meet you in the avo.
How is your Australian accent? Have you impersonated it to him?
Because
does he shit on you for it?
I only do British. I literally can.
What the fuck you mean?
I don't even know how to impersonate an Australian. Like, I actually can't do it.
If you rip it,
kangaroo. But it sounds British.
It does sound British.
Let me think of something. I'm about to go to Bondi, mate. But that sounds British. I literally can't do it. I don't know the difference. Like, I'm
better
go
to Bondi.
To Bondi. Yeah.
I'm about to go to Bondi.
He's gonna watch this and be like, "You're fucking ridiculous."
Yo, I feel like that was not bad. What I just said?
Me. Not you. Me. Okay. Not you. You actually kind of have it.
If I think slow, I'm like, I could get it. Like, I'm about to go to Bondi. Like, it's like very like, it's like very like.
You gotta
I don't know how to do
it.
It's just like in my ear. I could hear it. I don't know.
The thing about I don't know if other people have experienced this, but having a partner that speaks differently than you, like a different accent, or maybe it's like even like a different language or whatever, to try to like hear their voice in your head is so hard. I could not. Like, I still have trouble hearing my boyfriend's voice in my head, but I can hear yours like night and day. But I've known you for a really long time, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's all.
But I don't even know. Like, it's so hard to hear his accent in my head because I can't, like, I don't even know. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm trying to think of Hannah's voice in Korean, that's very difficult to place.
It's hard to find it
because I can't like the language is not like it's only not, in her. Like, I could obviously picture her like hear her voice when she's speaking English, but when she's speaking Korean, I can't like.
No, yeah,
I couldn't imagine. So like, I don't think I'd be able to pick. Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard
to find their voice. It's crazy.
Yeah. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you guys, when did you guys meet? In the first leg of the trip or in the second leg?
I was like honestly like a week and a half maybe, and then I got like a boot, and I was like a boot that I could actually walk in. I only went on one date with my like cast because I was like, this is really embarrassing, and I'm going on a date that I don't care about, and then I'll do a boot for the ones I do care about. Because I was like, didn't want to look like a loser. Sorry. No one's a loser if you have a broken ankle. You're strong and it's great, and I'm proud of you. Anyway, so I went and I got myself a boot, and then I went on a boot, and then it was like a week and a half, and that's when like I like had agreed. He had asked me out a few days prior.
Okay.
And I like knew I wasn't getting a boot, and I was going out with my friends, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna even like change my plans. I'm just going out with my friends, and like I'll go on a date with him another time or whatever. And it was like the day after I got my boot, and then we went on a date. So it was like a week and a half into my program. And then from then on, he waited another week to ask me out. Can we fucking flame him for that? A week? I
mean, a week is, if Dookie got turned down the first time, a week is kind of a good amount of time to wait.
I'm sorry.
You mean 7 days?
7 days.
7 days is a good amount of time to let it cool off.
Maybe, but I'm awesome, so it should be like fucking.
What were you expecting? 2 is wild. 2 is wild. You thirsting? If you get shot the fuck down, if I ask you out and you shoot me down, I'm not hitting you up 2 days later.
Well, no. He hit me up the next day.
No, you just said a week later.
No, he hit me up the next day and was like, "Oh, you want to go out next weekend?" Like his parents weren't home, so he's like, "Let me like make you dinner." He was kind of slick with that though. Like, I can't even lie. It was actually good.
Wait. Yeah. I'm so confused. Okay.
What are you confused about?
So right now, the age, I forgot. Like, I need to put myself in. Like, he's also a college student. So like,
yeah, he's 20. Well, he's 21, but he's turning 22. So he's like technically a year.
But he's a college student.
He's in college.
So like, he doesn't have his own place. I thought he was in his own place.
No,
so that makes sense. He's like, okay, his
commutes.
parents aren't home.
Yeah, he's a commuter.
The living at home shit, as a person who went to college while living at home, is tough.
Yeah.
For any like romantic stuff.
Can't relate.
So
Sorry.
so he says a week later. I don't think that's flame. I don't think
I was gonna blame him anyway.
Why?
Well, because I'm awesome. And
he hit you up the next day then.
Sorry. No,
I would not have hit you up the next day. If you turn me down, like if
okay,
someone
I didn't turn him down. I was just
you
like,
just said you did. You were like, I'm not meeting up with you because you're friends.
no, I was like, I have karaoke. It's very important to my soul. Sorry, because I did.
I was thinking of doing karaoke tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so don't fucking flame me because you know how important karaoke is. Thank you.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, I have to like. Sorry, like I can't. I'm busy. And then I was like,
thought
but
you meant
another
like
day.
I thought you meant you turned him
I
down,
didn't
like
fully
turned him down.
No, I
like
wasn't
no,
like
like
I wasn't
rejected
like,
him.
no loser.
Yeah, if you
No,
did that, I would not hit you up the next day.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wouldn't ask me on a date. Period.
Yeah, but then
I'd be
you
like,
said so.
fuck
That's
that
why I
bitch.
said it's thirsty if you get rejected and you go. But you just said like another day.
No, yeah, I was like.
Then if
another
he
day.
says a week later, ooh, that's a little bit.
No, okay, so
then I could see what you're
that
saying.
was okay. So
I
that
misunderstood
happened,
the
and then like a
situation.
few, like it was like a week or something later, we went on our first date, and then after the first date, a week, he wanted to go out with me the next weekend. That's a really long time to have a great fucking date, babe.
You think so?
We had a great date, and you're gonna wait a week to see my beautiful.
Did both of you
face?
guys? Did both of you guys agree that it was
Yeah.
a great date?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Honestly, I did not think
I was charming and charismatic, and I looked great.
Okay.
No, yeah, it was a great date. First of all, we went for drinks, and then we went for dinner, and then we walked around the city.
How's Australian food?
Hey, they don't have cuisine. Okay.
You're gonna have to hold on.
Listen.
Wait for what? No, there's no way that's true. Isn't there a lot of? Were there a surprising amount of Asians in Australia?
No. Well, it wasn't surprising for me because I know Asia's right there. So it's not surprising for me.
But there are okay. So I will.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
but yeah, there's a good amount.
No, there's a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah, like
well, they're right next to fucking Asia. What do you think?
I know, but it's like
Hey, I want to move my country. What's the closest one to me? Let me go there.
it's kind of like if you think of like middle of Pennsylvania, that's kind of close to New York City, but you wouldn't think there were. And if you go into a town in middle of Pennsylvania and they all of a sudden have a bunch of Asians, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, because it's
yeah, true. Okay, but anyways, Australia, so they have a lot of Asian. They had a decent amount. I would think that they would do some to impact the fucking food there.
Oh yeah, their Chinatown is amazing.
So the Asian food there is good.
Oh yeah,
I would imagine
they have a lot of Asian food, and it's all very, very yummy and delicious. But that's not Australian food.
So what the fuck is not good about Australian food?
No. Australia has great fucking food. It's the fact that Australia as a culture, their food
Vegemite?
is like, well, yes, that shit's
How was
disgusting.
that? Did you bring some back?
No, but we can get it in a supermarket. It'll be the same. It's so salty.
Okay.
It is salty. Like
That's
you fucking won't believe.
That's right there, New York. You said salty, not salty.
Salty. It's very.
You
salty.
said that was it.
It's very salty.
Salty.
Sorry. Anyway, continuing.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like ridiculous. It's so terrible. It's the only food that I'm convinced you have to have as a youngin. You have to have in utero, or you will never enjoy.
So you're okay. So Australia, the food itself, I kind of get what you're saying. The other stuff outside of it was good, but just not. What is
so Australia doesn't like Australian culture. I feel like doesn't have a lot of food. It's like a roast. A roast is their traditional stuff.
Oh, so it's basically British food.
Yeah, basically.
Damn.
So it's like, but they have very good food themselves. They have a place called Betty's. Betty's Burgers. It is life changing. Better than any fast food I've ever had in my life. I love it.
Was it the best burger you've ever had in your life, period?
Well, so I don't eat red meat, but it was a really good chicken sandwich.
Oh, I forgot.
But their burgers are allegedly good. My friends had them. Really
okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it the best chicken sandwich you had?
It was the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Better than Chick-fil-A?
Better than Chick-fil-A.
That is crazy.
And I will have that in writing. Give me a legal document.
Betty's?
I'll sign it. Yeah. Betty's Burgers.
Betty's out there in
what
Australia
I wanted.
Cooking?
Hey, Betty's, hit me up. I'll franchise your restaurant here.
That's crazy.
I'll do it. Wait, can we take a pee break? Is that like a thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to pee really
bad.
bad.
Yeah, go.
Okay. All right, we're back
Let
to
it rip. We're back to it.
Go taste it.
Thank you for... Yeah, we got some sangria now. Thank God.
Cheers.
Cheers. We didn't even cheers the first time. Cheers.
That was loud in the...
Oh, my bad.
No, I liked it.
Oh, we're gonna do a podcast in a southern
in
accent.
A southern goddamn accent.
Oh Jesus!
I like.
We're gonna get canceled for sure.
Oh, you think?
A little bit.
Is this upsetting?
Maybe.
I know someone from Alabama. She's Chinese, but it still counts.
Culturally acceptable for sure.
Thank you.
100%.
Yeah, she's awesome. She has a restaurant.
I can verify.
She's very fucking cool.
Tastes very good.
She worked for Disneyland, Hong Kong. Isn't that the coolest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life?
Foreign exchange. Like she went there for the exchange program.
Yeah,
just now?
I met her in the exchange program.
That's pretty sick. Does she have an accent from Alabama?
No, unfortunately she doesn't. She has a very regular accent.
I wish she had it. That would have been the fucking craziest thing.
I
was about to say funny, but it is funny. But I mean, crazy cool.
Well, I do a southern accent all the time, so I did it around her a lot. And that was probably offensive. But I don't think
like one of the highest compliments I've ever gotten in my life, and I think you could relate to this. Okay. It's literally, it's the stupidest shit. I went to Hannah. I'm not cool enough to have like fucking foreign friends, but like Hannah, Hannah is friends like with these like foreigners. Like she met them while in Japan teaching English, and some of her fucking fellow teachers were British. That's when Hannah lived in Japan for several months.
Oh, right.
So
I knew that about Hannah Banana.
So like some of these people were British, and then we ended up visiting them over holiday, what they call like holiday. We just went to vacation to fucking London, and we meet these people, and I could not help it. You know, like I had undiagnosed but 100% verified ADHD or ADD, whatever that is, but like whatever. And I started yapping in a British accent, and the highest compliment I've ever been given is like this freaking
that shit was
Beatrice,
good,
we call her B. She just turns around and I'm like yapping, like making a clown, like a fool out of myself, and she just goes, do you know what? It's not bad. And I was like, oh. I was like, you're British. I'm doing it. You know, it was like one of those moments.
Yeah. No, I did that shit. So one of my really good friends from college, her mom's she's from Alabama, and she has a full Southern accent.
Oh my God.
And she held the door open for me. You want to know what I said?
What?
Thank you, darling. And I said it just like that. In a fucking country accent to a woman that is from Alabama.
What'd she say?
How embarrassing. She didn't even think about it. They didn't think twice, didn't say anything. And I went to like my friend later that day, and I was like, I fully pulled out my Southern accent in front of your mother, and that was probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life.
She probably didn't judge.
She probably didn't even clock it. Like she didn't even care. Like nothing. No, she didn't. She's a sweetheart. She never judged. But it was embarrassing. I was
that's
like,
super funny. That's super funny.
It was so embarrassing. I couldn't. But
so what was the to get back to? Sorry to cut you off. I'm just trying to get back to the
pull it back.
So you were in Australia, and then at what point did you start venturing or traveling abroad? Did you get to see New Zealand at all, or not really?
No, unfortunately I didn't. That's my next destination though, for sure. Well, that and Japan. Those are my two like next spots.
Gotcha. So while you were in Australia, how were the bugs?
Honestly, not bad.
Not bad? Spiders, nothing?
Saw one big spider, and it wasn't even that big. It wasn't one of those like crazy like fucking human-sized spiders that you hear about. And I barely saw. I held a snake, but that was like a sanctuary. Like it wasn't like I didn't see snakes outside of that.
Just grab that shit.
Yeah, and I did go on a lot of hikes. So like it was, but I went on hikes when I went back to visit my boyfriend, because obviously a broken ankle is not equipped to do anything.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I was in the city, so I didn't see a lot of like bugs like that. But I'm sure when you're hiking in the summer and it's the bug season, you'll see them.
You're gonna see a lot more, for sure.
Definitely. But
so you're in Australia, and then at what point in the 6 month period did you go to Singapore for your internship?
So January and February I spent in in Australia, and the first half of March, and then we had a break towards like the middle end of March for about a week, and I went to Thailand, which was awesome. So cool.
What?
I fucking love Thailand.
What'd you do in Thailand?
Dude, what the fuck?
You went to Thailand?
Thailand was awesome. So we started in Bangkok, and Bangkok was really cool. They had awesome night markets.
How was the fucking food?
The food, phenomenal. Let me tell you, I lived at a 7-Eleven.
Did you eat street food at all?
Yeah, of course.
How was your stomach? Be honest.
Not bad. Singapore was worse. Like
really?
Singapore, my stomach, I should have seen a doctor. That shit was terrible.
That's not what I would have thought.
Thailand was fine. Everywhere I went was fine. Singapore though, I don't know. Those like so Singapore's really expensive. Any groceries you get there are ridiculously expensive, and the Singapore dollar to USD is almost a 1-to-1 ratio.
So it doesn't convert well.
So it doesn't convert well, and you're basically spending the same amount of money you would be. And it would be like $16 for a packet of grapes. and like a pack of grapes. It's not like, no, it's ridiculous. And that's only grapes.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous. So if you go to a hawker center, which is what they have there, and I'm sure you've heard about it because I'm sure Dee talked about a hawker center, but hawker center is basically like a food court, but like the food courts are like fresh made food, and it's all just random different people that like cooking, and they're making $5 food for you.
Yeah.
So it was much cheaper. So that's basically what I ate out every day.
That's dope.
And I don't know what they cooked it in. Maybe it was like the oil. I think I'm probably like sensitive to some kind of fried oil that they use.
I'm sensitive to for sure to like canola oil.
Yeah, that's probably the same for me.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know it. So like that probably messed my stomach up. But that didn't stop me from eating the food. It was delicious.
Yeah, just deal with the diarrhea later.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I didn't give a flying fuck.
You think I care? That's what they got toilet paper for, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I could sit on the toilet for about 5 hours.
I don't give a damn.
And that shit was good. I don't
Frankly,
care.
sometimes it feels good to just have sheer liquid.
And you listen, you're lighter. You're lighter, and it's proven. So really, I'm losing weight when I do that, right? Is that bad?
It's a dietary method.
It is.
Sure.
It is.
That's that juice cleanse.
Yeah, it clears.
That's that juice cleanse.
And you're feeling good.
Yeah.
That's why they're skinny out there.
You floating on the feet. You know?
Exactly.
They're walking around dehydrated as fuck, but
that shit's crazy. But
they might need a little saline drip. You know what I'm saying? The IV fucking standing cardinal.
Hey, that's how you live. That's how you live, and that's okay.
So anyways,
anyway. So Thailand was great, and I didn't know dietary problems there. 7-Eleven, hey, their 7-Elevens are fucking awesome. Let me tell you something.
What is the coolest shit you experienced in Thailand? Highlight. If you had to give me the highlight from Thailand.
So, before I went to Thailand, I was researching Thailand, and I was like, what is something I really want to do? You can drive an ATV through one mountain in Thailand, and it is the coolest fucking thing ever. They have like ATV experiences when you go to this like one place, and like you can drive through whatever mountain terrain they like make for you.
Okay.
So that to me was the coolest thing. If you were talking to another person, it would probably be like the islands when you're on like a long boat, like just sailing through the islands themselves and like swimming in caves and shit.
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna
fucking ATVing, brother. I could go like 50 kilometers an hour, 60 kilometers an hour through this one dirt road on a fucking four-wheeler. Hell yeah, sign me up, brother.
Do you know why I would wager that that's the case?
Why?
It's because you're Greek. You're spoiled as fuck when it comes to beaches and like islands and shit like that. So like we are.
You
know what I mean? So and you grew up going to that. So I'm thinking, because when you said that, I'm like, wait, that is interesting. That you even know that most people would say that, but how come you don't think that? And it's because, bro, you're fucking Greek. Like y'all got the craziest shit over there.
We have some beautiful ass beaches.
So obviously you're gonna be a little bit not desensitized, but like that's something you've done before. Which whereas ATVing through you said through a mountain.
It's like you're like you're not ATVing on road. You're ATVing off roading through this like mountain thing.
So you weren't like near cliffs or anything, were you? Like like high up in the mountains?
That was Vietnam, but I'll get there. That was motorbike.
She just name dropped another country.
Yeah,
she said a whole other.
That's fucking cool.
That's fucking.
But anyway, so
go ahead. Sorry.
And I planned ATVing for my friends, and they were about to be like, "No, we want to go." And I was like, "I will go fucking alone. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm going ATVing through a mountain, whether y'all like it or not." Damn. Hey, everyone had a great time.
Yeah, that's fire.
But it was so fucking cool. So that was mine. But hey, the islands are very cool. Going on a longboat's sick. Swimming through the different like caves or whatever you find is cool. There's a beach that's like Monkey Beach, where there's just monkeys fucking around on the sand. But they kind of, I think it's a little messed up that they have monkeys there. Just like, obviously the monkeys are just like living in the wilderness.
Are they naturally occurring?
They are, but like there is a security that like has a stick to poke them, which in my opinion is fucked up. So I didn't really totally enjoy that.
What do you mean to poke them?
Like,
for what
like
purpose?
To be like, stop. Because monkeys are aggressive. Like the little monkeys that is on Monkey's Island, I'm not sure the actual species of monkeys or like the family, whatever they are.
So they tame them basically.
Tame them in a little bit of a violent way, in my opinion. So I didn't totally enjoy it. But like, you feed the monkey because you're dumb. And obviously the monkey's gonna be like, why aren't you feeding me more? And they get a little bit aggressive. And the older the monkey is, the more aggressive they are. So if they get close to people, they'll like be like, ah. Yeah, and they're a little violent. So I don't totally enjoy that, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
Not to shade. I don't know. Not to shade.
I'm just curious as to why
it's a little messed up.
It's just weird. Like, why wouldn't you just have it so like you don't interact with the monkey and just see them?
And you just see them, right? Why would you feed a wild animal that's not supposed to be fed processed food?
If you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Like, if you're a true nature lover, you should just want to observe it, not like try to manipulate it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Why are you trying to feed the fucking when you're? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about Thailand is a lot of their like nature things they do that they promote to people, like zoos or like not even zoos, but they do a lot of like riding elephants.
I would not do that,
which is very fucked up.
I would not do that.
Yeah, no,
I don't think I would ride the elephant.
I went to an elephant sanctuary and I like fed the elephants, I watched the elephants, and I heard about their stories, and it was so cool. So in that sanctuary you could feed them, and it's very to whatever the elephants are feeling. So like if they don't want to fuck with people, they're not going to fuck with people that day. So they bring them to you, and then not to you, like you go to their like little living space and you feed them little bananas, and they're very hungry little critters, and it's so adorable because they don't want to stop eating, and I'm like, me too, it's so cute. And then after they're like sufficiently fed through everyone, and you take pictures with them, and they tell you where to pet them, and they tell you like this one doesn't like X, Y, and Z, this one's a little more friendly, like blah blah blah. And they're all saved. Like, these are all wild animals that were saved from some kind of violent harm or, like, hunting or something. And then they bring them to, like, this, like, shower area where you literally wash them off. Like, you put dirt on them to exfoliate them, like a little spa, and then you wash them off. And it's so cool. And they, like, love it. And you're basically, like, showering with elephants, and it's like the coolest fucking thing ever. That's sick.
You see, so now cool. That is some fucking, that right there is some shit you'd want to document, like document and then post somewhere, or like capture for, like everyone should do that instead of the elephant riding thing.
No, yeah, everyone should, because it also is, it's very harmful for an elephant to have something on its back, because the bones start to like
morph under the pressure.
Under their pressure, and their alignment gets fucked up.
Yeah, their skeletal system's not designed for that.
So it's really messed up. Like, actually,
elephant riding for sure is pretty abusive.
No,
and like, to be honest with you, not that the intelligence of the animal ultimately determines what is acceptable or not as far as to how you treat it, but it also makes it just extra wrong at the fact that like these are really intelligent creatures. You know how smart elephants are?
No, yeah,
they mourn.
They view us as dogs. The way we view dogs is how elephants view us. Isn't that fucking insane?
Crazy.
That's so wild.
And elephants like communicate through like vibrations that their pads and their feet can pick up. It's fucking beautiful.
They're awesome fucking creatures.
And their memory is like
is insane.
I mean, it's just like elephants are definitely like one of those magical creatures that when you see how mankind mistreats like that animal in particular, it's just very heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking.
It's kind of like with like dogs, like it's in that same vein of just like, man, that's fucked up. Like so I'm glad I'm actually, when you started talking about like, oh, like the touristy stuff to do in Thailand, I was like, oh God, this elephant shit, because everyone does that.
No, yeah, they do. And I knew people that went on, like in my program, that we weren't really friends, like we were friendly, and they told me they went like riding on an elephant, and I was like, you're fucked up for that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't try to like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't try to like virtue signal and be like, yeah, I'm so fucking superior.
No,
I wouldn't do that, but I'd be like, oh, I'm not doing that, bro.
I think I said like, I think I was like, well, why don't you just go to a sanctuary and interact with the animal, like the elephants like that? And they're like, I don't even know. By the way, they're rich, like white people from fucking DC. I keep saying white people. I feel like that's fucked up, but like they were. Sorry.
It's not fucked up. You're just describing who they are.
Anyway. Sorry.
It's accurate. If they're white, they're white.
Yeah. And that's what they're like rich 1%ers. What do I care? You know what I mean? Like, think it was whatever.
It's just like, I mean, I would bring it up in a way where it's like, how do you, like, I would just be like, hey, like, yo, have you actually, you know what you love? You like this fucking elephant sanctuary. Because like, who the fuck wouldn't like that? Like, what you just described seems like a Disney experience. Like, that's literally, like, you're over here feeding them and you're like bathing them, like,
and all the proceeds go to like supporting their life. That's like, it's not awesome. Even like I'm buying to like buy into this person's pocket. I'm buying to just help
conservation.
Like, conservate and like build up their own areas and stuff. So
that's awesome.
It was cool. And
how long did you spend in? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, we did that in Australia. When I said like I held a snake, it was at a sanctuary. It wasn't at like a zoo or anything. Like I didn't go to a zoo in Australia. I went to like sanctuaries.
I hate to sound so like tree huggerish, but like I told your sister on the last podcast too, like I don't fuck with zoos.
No, I don't fuck with zoos
like,
either. I don't fuck with zoos.
I something about zoos, like I just be walking around, I'm like,
weird.
God,
it's
dude,
weird.
like I just feel really like
if you're
just
not a
fucks me
zoo
up.
that's like helping an injured animal like become like healthy again to like
I will go to a rehabilitation center or a sanctuary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'll go to. In
I don't
Orlando,
fuck with the zoo, bro.
in Florida, you know, I went to a rehabilitation center for exotic animals, and there were lemurs and like crazy capybaras.
Lemurs
like
are
crazy.
fucking awesome, bro.
And we fed them like they were. You know their
Yeah.
paw. Have you ever? Have you like seen a lemur up close?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't their paws so?
I haven't touched their paws. But
Okay, so
I've seen it up
I
close.
was lucky enough to where in this thing. I mean, if next time you go to, or if you guys go with us to like the, you know, like the crib in Orlando, there's a fucking spot like 2 hours outside of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember their name, but shout out to these people. They're fucking dope. And it's an animal sanctuary for like exotic pets, I think. And they have like all types of different animals, and like they have like very strong connections with like an exotic pet veterinarian, and it's like a very very cared for rehabilitation center sanctuary type of deal. And it's like very small business, you could tell, because it's like super out in the middle of nowhere. And you go to this place, and then there's like you could tell it's all like homemade construction. It's not like some giant zoo or property or something like that. It's just like a house, and then they built all these things around the house to support this type of animal, or these types of animals. And the fucking lemur, there was like a lemur enclosure, and they gave us like all these ripe bananas and apples and shit, and we go in there, and this thing starts, I have video of it like somewhere, I don't know where, but it starts crawling on me, and the skin, it's like the softest leather you will ever feel in your life. Like this thing was crawling on my touch my neck, like, and I was like, it's so, and it looks at you, and it has like human-esque eyes, and the emotion it could communicate. I was just like, this is beautiful. And if I were to see this thing locked up in a cage, I mean, we were kind of in a cage, but it was an injured animal, it was an exotic pet, whatever. Meaning like they just went out and grabbed this motherfucker and put him in like a zoo. I would be like, I feel a little bit bad, like looking at this thing, and it's just like in like a cell.
Yeah.
So I hate to sound so, you know, but
and
I don't
it's,
fuck with
you know what? Fuck it. It's not tree hugger. And tree hugger's bad. Like, why does tree hugger have a bad rap? You care about animals.
No, it's just like I hate to be like so like, but
no,
you know,
it's true.
It's a valid
Zoos
point.
Suck.
It's a valid
Sorry,
point.
like
it's a valid point.
That we should not be capturing animals to look at them when
sucks,
we took over their land.
But the argument that showcasing them could also help support if it's not like a fucking, some zoos are good where they like donate a lot to conservation, but it's also like, all right, so kind of, but then sometimes that shit's a facade for just like money. It's also fucking,
but it's like
layered.
Be a conservation. You have the ability to be a conservation like program. Do it.
Yeah,
you have the.
I agree.
You have the like funds,
financial means to do so. You should support those things. Yeah.
Why would you not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just like dumb.
I agree. That makes sense.
And
veterinary
like
care and all that
humans
stuff gets expensive.
Silly, bro. Just like. Dude,
I totally
right.
derailed you.
Anyway,
you were talking about
fine.
Thailand, and you went to we were on Snake Sanctuary, and then you went back to Thailand. So how long? How long were you in Thailand for?
Just a week, about 7 days.
Just a week.
Just a week. I went to Bangkok for 2 days, and then the rest we were at Phuket. We were in Phuket. It's an island, and then we went back to Bangkok for a day, and then went back to Singapore. But Phuket, by far, I loved way more than Bangkok. Sorry.
How's the food?
The food everywhere is amazing, by the way.
What country of the 6 countries? So okay, I'm sorry, because I want to extract as much information, and we have to get dinner soon.
I know, dude.
Because
sorry,
it's like you'll be back on the show for sure.
Yeah.
This is your first time, first of many for sure. If you'll come back,
I love talking. I'll be here.
bet. So like, of the 6 countries you visited, what's the number 1 in food?
Oh, fuck,
or rank
them.
Just give me like your top 3.
I would say top 3. I would go Singapore, Vietnam, and Bali.
Bali? You went to Bali?
I went to Bali. I went to Bali for a weekend.
Globe trotter over here. Okay, so
those were the 3 I loved. If you were telling me like number 1 place to go, I'm gonna go recommend not only for food but for the experience, Vietnam.
I want to go to Vietnam so fucking bad.
Have you heard of the Ha Gan Lu?
I did. Your sister spoiled it because
Right.
she showed me pictures of like
What I did. Yeah.
It's like the fucking.
You would love it.
I would shit myself.
You would love it. No, you would think it was the coolest thing ever because hey, it is. It's the genuinely on every single trip. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But me and my friends specifically kept Vietnam for the last trip of our like whole entire program because we knew it was gonna be the coolest thing we fucking did.
So
ever.
Vietnam is the highlight reel.
Makes top experience Vietnam.
So for the people who don't know, explain to me what the Haigon Loop is.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
so
break it
basically, there is a mountain like region called Haigon, and you are on the back of a motorbike, which is basically a motorcycle. It's like a smaller motorcycle, and you are driving through these little streets throughout the entire mountain, and you're just viewing the mountain. That's it. Like that's what it is. But that sounds lamer than it is because it's so cool because one, this mountain range is stunning. You're seeing magnificent views. You're going through high altitudes on small little itty bitty little streets on the back of a motorbike, and you're going like 60 kilometers an hour, 80 kilometers an hour. And to reference that in like miles per hour, that's probably about like 60 miles per hour. Like you're going through these. Like at least my driver did. You could drive one yourself, but I don't know how to drive a motorbike. And I didn't know if it was manual or not, so I was like not gonna risk that. So I had a driver. Smart. And my guy was Speedy fucking Gonzalez. If he could win a race, he fucking would. Like if he was racing, he'd win every time. He loved driving 80 kilometers an hour on these little fucking roads. And it was really cool because I enjoy being like fast and like I'm not a daredevil, but like I'm not very timid and I'm not very scared of heights or anything like that. So it didn't really freak me out.
Yeah.
But if they had anybody else, I'm sure they'd tweak. Like this guy was going fucking fast for the roads we were on. And you were also passing people because like the laws, like road laws are different in most countries.
You mean suggestions?
They are very much suggestions in like Vietnam or like Bali or anywhere like that. Like it's very much they don't care, which is like, hey, people got to get to where they got to get to. That's fair enough. And Thailand too. Thailand doesn't give a fuck. Good for them.
This guy was driving that fast, but you know, in a way, it's also kind of cool because you get to focus on like absorbing like the sights and the experience.
And shout out to my guy. He was so safe. He not even a bump. Like there was nothing phased this guy. He was going so fast.
Did you record any of this? Dude?
Yeah,
this
I have stuff. I can show you.
Okay,
yeah, it was so cool.
But I'm gonna have to see this.
Like you should do it. You would love it.
Oh no, I like, before I die,
I'll do it again.
Like I'm going.
Dude,
to
I would do it again,
and I'm going to Vietnam specifically with Michael. Shout out you, Michael.
You should.
I told him.
Shout out Cheers. Cheers is the people I did it through. Shout out Cheers. They're the best. If you're gonna go do the Haigon Loop, do fucking Cheers. Go through Cheers.
That's
it's
awesome.
So cool.
That's awesome.
And like, so as you're going through the mountain, it's like 30 to 45 minutes you're driving, and then like they stop at a little cafe so you can get like a Vietnamese coffee. By the way, best coffee on earth. I won't even lie, it was so fucking good.
That condensed milk is
dude
shit.
That's life changing. That's fucking life changing shit right there, dude.
I might get diarrhea, but bro, worth it. Worth it.
I didn't have diarrhea once in Vietnam, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's okay. So it was fucking awesome. Anyway, so you're stopping, and then by 4 p.m. your day's about like done, and you stop at a hostel, and then you like party with whoever you're with. You party with your like easy drivers, which is what they call the like regular drivers of the things, and you just party with them. You hang out. Like one time we were just a bunch of us started playing volleyball because there was like a volleyball net at one of the hostels, and a bunch of easy drivers joined, and it was so much fun. Like whoever wanted to play was playing, and it was like such a good time. And then we drank with them, we had karaoke, and it was so cool. And I brought cards, and everyone was playing cards. Like it was sick. And I met 2 people from Greece who spoke like fluent Greek. So we were chatting it up, you know. I was a little shy, so I didn't talk to them until like the 3rd day, but like we were chatting, and it was really cool to meet them.
That's awesome.
But it was so sick. Like actually, like I don't even know. Like I wish I could go back.
So Vietnam is what port? Like so after Vietnam, what other countries? You said Bali.
So Vietnam was the last country I went to.
Yeah.
Opposed to Singapore. So before that, I went to Malaysia. Obviously, I went to Kuala Lumpur, which is so cool. I love that city. Like, that was sick. Me and my friends basically got pampered there, and it's very cheap. So it was like, we did so much. And then I went to Bali, and then what other country? It was Vietnam, Thailand. Maybe I did like 4 or 5.
Four or five
countries in total.
I mean, that's still fucking amazing. That's awesome. So of those countries, Vietnam is obviously ranking in number 1. So all right. So I need to ask you, right? I guess the final question to wrap this up here, because we do need to get dinner. I feel so bad. You have to come back on, but I need to wrap this up. So I gotta ask you this. So the last question is like, obviously you experienced some insane stuff, but do you think you have like grown and changed as a person? And if so, in what way?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, what life lessons
and
did
this
you
is
learn
what
from
is
this?
This was what I was gonna say to you earlier, and I was like, oh, I'll save it for the podcast. I think as Americans we view Asia very poorly. Like, I'm not saying you do, but like genuinely, like in our school systems, I feel like we're not taught how advanced Asia is as like a unit itself, how their people run, how they run everything, really. Like, Singapore is 99% like environmentally friendly in their infrastructure, which if you think about is insane. So like that meaning they build their buildings almost 100% environmentally friendly. The first thing they do when they're renting someplace or they're building a new place is making sure it's environmentally friendly. That's fucking insane. I never knew that. I never knew that was a thing. It's insane. The way they run their government, some places a little sketchy, but it's very like, the people are very respectful. They all tend to follow most of the laws, although some of them are a little like that. You know what I mean? But they're very like, everyone's very, very friendly for the most part. They're very respectful of people's space. They're very respectful of people's time. They're not as pushy as you would assume they would be. And I feel like a lot of our education system, at least from what I've experienced, is you would think of Asia and you think of a lot of third world countries-ish. That's so not the place. Like, that's so not a thing. Like, it's just smaller villages, but it's not unstable. Like, it's not like
the boonies.
It's not as boony as you would think it would be. And I think I didn't even know I had weird like ideas of Asia until I was there and was like, wait, this is totally not what I was gonna like. I could even think this would be.
You've actually had more experience going like throughout. I actually have had very limited experiences with Asia. It's just Japan, and I think that's a very unfortunate thing. I do really want to experience like,
I want to go to Cambodia so bad. That was one place I wanted to go to.
Really, I want to go to Vietnam. I want to go to Korea. I want to go to China. Like all these places. Yeah. And like, to be honest with you, like, it's I know I will get like I'll get there. I'll make it a point to go there eventually. But that being said, you've experienced all these things, right? So to hear you say that is very shocking and awesome, because like obviously you have like the experience, you went there and you have like the real idea of what Asia is like as a whole, because you went to so many different countries, which is awesome. Yeah, and you gained all that new perspective. That's really shocking to hear you actually say that like the villages and stuff like that. Like it is like, it's actually kind of breaking my perception of certain. Not like the countries as a whole, but more the rural areas. I would think that the rural areas were a little bit less, I guess, like, as I would think they're a little bit more underdeveloped than what you're making it seem like. If that makes sense.
Well, at least to me, like you said, I've been to Greece a bunch. A village in Greece, no different from a village in Vietnam, no different from a village in Bali. At least the places I visited personally.
So it felt kind of familiar to your experiences in Greece.
Yeah, I was driving through these throughout Vietnam, and I was like, this kind of seems like you could place this in Greece. Like, not fully, but like the amount of like infrastructure that was there, it felt paved very
roadways,
similar.
Like power grid, like shit like that.
How they were and how like poor, quote unquote, they are is equivalent to a small village in Europe. Like, and I feel like before this, I wouldn't have really ever placed them in the same category just from what I had heard and like granted, I've been
Just
sheltered about
notions, yeah.
it was preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And I feel like here you don't get a lot of like, no one really wants to boast Asia for some reason.
It's just like, well,
it's just bad vibes. I don't know what it is.
What I think it is, and not that I'm like an expert on this, but my just based off of like straight up, if I had to guess, most of America's white, so a lot of that ancestry lies in Europe. So obviously that's going to be the culture that's most familiar. So I completely understand that, but I definitely see how like a lot of Americans could have maybe like their view or their perception of Asia as a whole shattered if they go to certain like places and experience that.
Like if anybody, any person in America went to Singapore, you'd be like, holy shit, we're behind. Like Singapore,
I heard
itself,
Singapore's super advanced. Yeah.
You would be like, holy crap. We are not the number one dogs. We haven't been the number one dogs. We should get it together. And the only reason you don't hear a lot about Singapore is, one, they're a very neutral place, and two, they're very tiny. So they're not going to talk a lot. They're not going to have a stake in everything because they're so small. But it's like they are it. They should be the stepping stone of what we do. And I'm not saying totally, like I'm not saying everything, because some of their laws are crazy.
Fuck,
their laws are crazy.
I was just about to say their laws are stupid.
No,
like if you spit gum out, corporate they'll
law.
Arrest
they
your
use
ass.
they use corporal law punishment. Like they do that.
No, that's like a thing. Yeah,
they don't fuck around.
Yeah, they do not fuck around.
Which you'd say sometimes it's bad. Like, hey, fuck you, don't be misogynist. But hey, they're citizens. They follow rules. Like, it's a very clean city. There's not a lot of crime. There's not a lot of shit that goes down there. It is very expensive. It's like you have to be rich to be someone there. But they don't have homeless people. It's very clean. It's pretty fucking good. Like,
I would argue that it's because they have such a small population that it's easier to do.
I agree.
But that doesn't mean this shouldn't be something to strive towards, for sure.
I think we could take a lot from Singapore.
Especially
100%.
Cities, like our cities.
Yeah,
like,
our
you're
cities.
supposed to be like
Honestly, I was not a fan of no eating and no drinking on public transportation. But after living it, hey, we shouldn't do it because the litter that you would save from like no eating, no drinking on public transport is crazy.
I kind of feel the same way after Japan. Like in Japan, what I've heard is people don't really walk and eat. Like you don't buy something and you sit and you eat it and then you throw it away. And it's
like, hey, why would we not do that? Why would we not just naturally stop, sit, eat, throw away?
In New York too, especially, like you have so many people just on the go. They just grab shit and then it'll litter.
Yeah, we gotta slow down.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it makes sense. Yeah,
we gotta slow down, and it just, the culture there is so welcoming, and I think it's a preconceived notion that it's not, but it is. Everyone wants to have you there. Everyone wants to know you there. They're interested in Americans. When you're interested in them, they take it very like, I want you to know where I'm from. I want you to know what it's like to live here. I want you to hear my stories equally as I want to hear yours. And that's really fucking cool too.
I think, to be honest with you, I think that's awesome. And I think that there's truth in what you're saying. But I also think it comes down to the person, and you appreciate cultures a lot. And I feel like that's really cool that you had that experience, but it's because you crafted that experience for yourself. You made it your reality just because of the fact that you went there. And this is why I wanted to, like, if you were some other person that didn't really, if you were a person that didn't appreciate foreign cultures, you wouldn't have gone on the trip. But I know that you do, to such an extent where you would have like a lot of things to say about this trip. And like the meanings that it had for you, and your experiences were very rich and stuff. So it's really awesome.
I didn't even talk about Bali, but Bali was one of my best experiences.
We could end on that. Go ahead, talk about Bali.
Wait, because the cultural experience that you're talking about just made me think of it. Because a lot of people do Bali, they do like the beach. I'm gonna sit on the beach and like that's what Bali is about. No, Bali. If you could do Bali, I would suggest. Me and my friends did a like midnight, like sunrise hike up one of the most beautiful mountains I've ever been on. And the way they do it is like they'll take you from the airport, they'll transport you to the mountain, they'll drop you off, and you'll meet your like your tour guides or whatever. And these tour guides are so fucking cool. Like, there was a mom that her son just he's like 7 years old. He comes on the hikes only because he wants to and only because he likes it. So it's her son, one of the other tour guides. He's in college, and he happened to be on break. And he's like, when I come back, I just do this hike because I do it all the time and it's cool and whatever. And then one of the other tour guides was just like middle-aged person. Just that was their job and that's what they did. And as we're walking, like you're hiking, like you're like
the whole time
basically rock climbing low key up this mountain.
Holy shit.
At like 4 a.m. But you're meeting all these cool people, and I met some British people there, and it was like really cool. And I got to hear what those girls were doing, and they were just like on holiday for like 2 months. And I was like, that's sick. Like, how can you just take them 2-month holiday, whatever? And it was really cool just like hearing the tour guide's experiences. And I was like, why'd you get into it? And he was like, oh, I had a family friend that like did it, and he said he really liked it, and it was just like good pocket money, you know? And I do it when I'm not studying, but he's like studying law in his own country, like in like a university in Bali, which is fucking sick. Like, so cool that you're like studying, you're a law major, and this is your holiday. Like, this is what you've decided to do, is take these fucking 4 a.m. hikes every day. That, by the way, they start at 4 a.m. They don't end till like 9:30 when you're back down. No, a.m. But back down the mountain. But you're getting up at like, I was up at 12:45 to get there. So
what time did you go to sleep?
Oh, I didn't. In Bali, I was up for like 36 hours, I think it was. Like,
and you hiked in that? Hiked in that 36-hour period.
Yeah, I hiked in that 36-hour period.
So you didn't even go to sleep. So you were up. Okay, so hike 4 a.m. in the morning up this fucking mountain.
So I landed. Yeah,
because they picked you up from the airport. You said
woke up at 7 a.m. the day before in Singapore. I went to work, did my full shift, came back, didn't sleep, took a 3-hour flight to Bali.
Okay.
Landed in Bali. Bali was about 10:45. My friend had visa problems. We didn't get out of the airport till 12:45. Straight car to the mountain. Didn't get there till 3:30.
Okay.
Got off. Met our tour guides. Hopped on a car. Went to the bottom of the mountain. Hit there at 4 a.m. Started our hike 4 a.m. Got up the mountain. By the time we were up at the mountain, it was like 6 a.m. Down the mountain, 9:30 a.m. After that, rice fields. Then we went to a outdoor bar.
What do you mean rice fields?
Rice fields. There's rice fields
what do you
over
mean,
there.
Yeah, what are you doing rice fields? You were picking rice?
No. You just like, you walk, you meet the people that are like picking rice, and you hear them talk. I heard someone be like, oh my God, I was here in 2018 and you were here too. And he was like, oh yeah, like I'm still working the rice fields. And they were like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'm so happy to see you, whatever. Like, it was cool. They're fucking cool people there.
So you're walking through the rice fields, and then you drink after being up for such a long period of time. How was that? You probably must have gotten fucked up quick.
Dude. Okay, so then there's this club in Bali called Fins. It's a very famous club. And it's like a beach club. But we didn't go there till like, it was probably like 8 p.m. or something like that. We stayed up till like, I think we were out till like 2 a.m. that night. And then we finally went home, and I was in bed by like 3 a.m. Then it was like Sunday 3 a.m. I had gotten there like Friday. I didn't go to bed till Sunday 3 a.m.
You know what?
It was crazy.
Not that it's about like topping stories and stuff, but that right there, that tops.
It was wild.
That's the only story that I've heard so far that I think tops my, like, one of my personal stories about like staying up like that. That is the craziest shit.
It was livid, bro.
Bro, you worked a fucking corporate internship, went, hiked in nature, went back without sleeping. So flew overnight, hiked in nature early in the morning, went back down the mountain, drank at a fucking, where did you drink? At a bar after the mountain, and then went to the beach club.
Yeah.
At 9 p.m.
It was like 9 p.m.
And then went to bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a savage, bro.
Dude, I didn't think I could do it. I'm a girl that needs her sleep too, but like, I did it. I was proud of myself that I even survived. Like, I was like, wow, you're a fucking soldier. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but honestly, like that sunrise hike, I wouldn't change for the fucking world. That was the coolest shit ever.
Yo, okay, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You know, if you want me to, I'll cut it out of the
Okay,
podcast.
I'm ready.
But it's a super personal
That's
question.
fine.
So I know you have trouble shitting like outside of your house.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you manage that like on this whole 6-month ass?
Hey, I didn't, bro. Anytime I left for a weekend, I would shit for 4 days. You could keep it in too. I would, because this is an experience that people have, and I want to shed light on it. Okay, it's hard for people to shit. Okay, I have a mental condition that it doesn't let me. So for the weekends I was gone, hey, I wasn't shitting for 4 days.
No wonder you didn't diarrhea on these motherfuckers, bro. That was lot. Your colon had overtime in sucking the hydration out that fucking turd.
Yeah, yo, that could. Nah,
you probably did get diarrhea. You probably had it, but your system no, it's not coming out.
It was like a mental thing. It wasn't even like, hey, I should have got Bali belly, bro. But like, I don't think my body could do Bali belly because I was in a different, like, I was traveling. And it was
wait,
like,
so you're telling me you wouldn't poop for 4 days?
4 days.
You know, if I didn't do that, I would be in the ER. Like, I would be in the ER.
Probably. And I'm sure probably some people would. It's good if you shit regular, but for us girlies that don't, because
I just don't understand how. Like, I just don't
Dude,
first of all, actually, when you got to Australia, didn't you struggle just getting to a place where it's like, oh shit, I'm not like this isn't home?
It was no. It was like, oh my god, I have a new roommate that doesn't know I can't shit. I have to immediately tell her I have problems. So I immediately was like, listen, I'm really sure I shit her. Like, you cannot be in the room when I have to poop. I'm really sorry.
What do you mean the connected bathroom to that shared room?
Yeah, because we had a shared room. So like, I would have to plan it like she wasn't home, but it took me like 2 weeks to even be able to. And I wasn't even I wasn't really traveling in Australia. I went to like Cairns in Melbourne Cairns in Melbourne. So like, those were the 2 places I went and I didn't poop. But like, it took me like 2 weeks to even be able to shit. Like, it took me so long.
It took you 2 weeks to like defecate after you initially arrived to Australia?
No, okay, 5 days to like poop. 2 weeks to get like, oh, I have a routine. Like, I can poop every 2 days.
5 days is fucking crazy.
Dude, bro, you should have seen me freshman year of college, brother.
Oh,
that shit was correct.
Okay, did you? Last thing I'll ask you before we end this.
I know we should end it at some point.
When you went back to Australia to visit your boyfriend, did you stay with him?
I did, bro. I had to tell him. I told him before I got there.
Did you shit in front of him?
No. Well, like, not like, I had to be like, you need to be out of the house, bro. I'm like, I can't. There was one time I got like, dude. It was bad.
You still can't poop in front of people, huh?
Oh my god, no. I couldn't pee in front of my boyfriend. He would have to be in his room with his door closed, and I'd have to close the door, lock it, open a drawer because it was right next to the door. Open the drawer from opening. Extra to prevent it from opening.
And then you could pee?
Blast music, and then I could pee.
Pee?
Dude, I have problems.
Not even shit.
And I'm convinced it's because of a young child. So I was in a Nordstrom's department store. This will be the last story I tell. I was in a Nordstrom's department store. A child was in the stall next to me with their adult, with their parent or whatever. Crawls under the stall, stares at me in my soul as I'm peeing. I was like 11. Stares at me in my soul. I waved to it because what the fuck are you supposed to do? I waved to it. I said, hello. And it was staring at me. It was just staring at me under the stall, fully in my stall. The mom grabs its foot, yanks it. Right? Yanks it. And from then on, I've had peeing and pooping problems in public.
Yo, no lie, I could really, really relate to you on one. I can't pee in like stalls.
Bro, it's hard,
I can't pee in stalls. I can't pee in stalls.
But you can pee in urinals?
Or sorry, I can't pee in urinals.
You can pee in a stall.
I can pee in a stall. Well, I can't pee in urinals.
Hey, peeping Toms, brother.
I cannot. I'm not gonna lie. I get super bad stage fright. I can't pee in urinals.
That would be me too.
But I could shit anywhere, motherfucker. I could shit right now on this table if I needed to.
I wish.
I could literally, it's crazy. It's so opposite. It's literally yin and yang. Like pee, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know why. Like the act of like standing up and then you're like shoulder to shoulder with some random fucking person and you're trying to pee in front of them. Like, yeah, that's weird to me. But if I'm in a stall, I don't give a fuck where I am. Even, I so much to the point where I have shit where like, you ever seen like a really shit built fucking public restroom?
Yeah.
Where the gaps in the door like the stall.
Fucking thick as fuck.
It's like a fucking IMAX widescreen fucking movie theater where the shit's like got 4 inches of fucking gap, so someone could like make full double eye contact, not one eye, double eye contact, and they're waving at you. In that, I could drop a deuce, no problem. Yeah, lay it out. I'm just like done,
dude.
Easy.
I could never.
Are you? That's crazy.
Even if I really had to, my body would be like, "Girl, no, we can't. We're in public."
Oh my god, that's so crazy. Well, I'm glad you kind of overcame it during your 6-month period.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it was like I overcame it because I was living in Singapore. I was living with like 6 people.
You had no fucking option.
And I had no option but to. So it was empowering, to be honest.
That's good.
But on weekend trips, no, I could never. And one of my friends was also like that. She could never travel. She could never shit while we were traveling. And I was like, thank you for seeing me. I feel seen and heard. It's like my people. So it's great.
All right. On that note, I think we end it. So we got to go get dinner, y'all. Yeah. So like, if you made it to the end of the episode, thank you so much for liking, what?
Yes,
for liking,
subscribing.
For liking, subscribing, commenting, all that social media bullshit. Until next time, cue the outro. Cue the outro. There you go. Cue the outro music, right? And then until the next one, y'all. Deuces.
Thank you.